So we follow all the social media platforms like Ghana Talks Radio and Queen your guy, our own guy. What him?
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with GhanaTalks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With GhanaTalks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. GhanaTalks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. GhanaTalks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast, French fries.
Koko Nikosi, alo komi kesheto.
Wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on Ghana Talks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials. From Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare,
Regina Bless,
Deborah Adoso,
and I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
Ghana Talks Radio, #1.
Ghana Talks Radio, wo UK abrochimemu era from Ghana mu ha the sound system which spinning machine papa every amana ne aba begu oman Ghana mu ha enti se we ye a year we ye engagement we ye wedding we ye birthday party political parties are mo ye rally some we ye sorry mo ye crusade so we bo carnival or any kind of event now we pe spinning machine papa a boa sound no mu e de dia ene me kanfo GTR sounds e de emawo ye wa live band nso a woto nsa e de frenya ye betimi ababeboa ama wudwumedi a wudi ene nso atimi aye kama pa ye wo enkan poponi mantemo anya aponchi hotel e ho pepepe e na ye butuo odi ane se wo be frɛ empanifo e wo 0546960510 GTR sounds e mu de angaza.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast, French fries.
Koko Nikosi, alo komi kesheto.
Wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on Ghana Talks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials. From Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare,
Regina Bless,
Deborah Adoso,
and I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, your morning companion. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, your morning companion. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, your morning companion. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, your morning companion. is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, your morning companion. Good morning to you all. It's a beautiful Monday morning, and you are welcome to the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show right here on Ghana Talks Radio. You're welcome to the news headline review. Right here, we bring you all the latest headlines making waves in the news, from business to politics, from sports entertainment. We got you covered with the most relevant stories and informed perspectives on issues that matter to you every morning right here on the show. And I am your host, Ruth Esinam Fiagbedu. Joining me this morning is Miss Debbie Adoso. Unfortunately, we'll be missing Miss Regina Bless today. Good morning, Miss Debbie.
Good morning.
What's the day? Bibi aboko de.
Yeah, me adom.
Me kafante.
Aye.
Bibi aboko.
Yeah, me adom.
Oh, a phone you da.
Mauta.
A dollar you.
Oh, sen.
Oh, thank you, Jesus. How was the weekend? For you?
My weekend was fantastic and a bit stressful.
Oh, sorry. Mine was very stressful right from Thursday till this dawn. And
Sorry.
obey anything. But Friday was Farmers Day.
Yes.
How did you see the Farmers Day celebration? Did people commemorate it as expected?
Yeah, they did. I think this year's Farmers Day was one of the best Farmers
Oh, really?
Day. Yes.
How different was it?
It was different in a way that I felt like all the farmers were appreciated, and not as if in the previous years farmers were not appreciated. But with this particular one, every farmer was regarded. Then aside that, top most best farmers were given an award, a vehicle, a sum of 50,000.
You saw them giving them the vehicle.
The vehicle. Oh, they presented a vehicle. Who? I think the man who won the. Oh, I've forgotten his name. The man who won the best farmer, and then after that they went into the universities that are into agriculture, and then universities that are producing more veggies and everything that has to do with agric. They also gave them an award, and then I heard the Deputy Agric Minister John Dumelo also encouraging other schools to do more, because if a school is involved in agriculture and they're being given such a huge sum of money, it should tell you that when you also do better or you do best next time, you will also be rewarded. So I think this is a way of pushing other schools to invest more into agriculture, and a way of convincing the students to also engage themselves in agriculture, because trust me, the world in which we find ourselves right now has to do with agri, and people are making vast money out of that. So with this farming, this Farmers Day, for me it's one of the best. One of the best.
Right. The reason I was asking if you saw them giving the vehicles to the farmers was that it looks like every year after Farmers Day we hear rumors, and they said the best farmer, they are going to give the best farmer a tricycle, they are going to give the best farmer this machine, so and all of that, and then the farmers come out and be like they won that prize and the gifts never got to them. That was why I wanted to fact check.
I got you, but I don't know whether you watched the video when President Mahama was giving a speech. He told them that they should show the vehicle. The vehicle was there. The vehicle that will be handed over to the best farmer. They presented it. I think it's something like a van or something in a white color. They brought it there, and so they took a picture of it and they showed it.
And they showed
so
it that
you,
indeed,
the person that they'll be awarded, it's the key they'll give it to you. So they gave the key to the farmer. So it's not like other times where they don't show a video of they don't even bring
the car
on side. The only thing they'll tell you that they will appreciate you in front of people, congratulate you, and tell you that you've done well. And then the next thing is we will get back to you, or we'll get in touch, and then it ends there. But with this one, it wasn't like that. The vehicle was there, the key was presented to the farmer, and those who didn't get vehicle get something in a cash price. They were given cash. So it's real. What happened on Friday was real.
Well, they said the farmers are suffering.
Oh yes.
So this particular farmers, what do you think the government can do different to uplift this burden on the farmers that they say they are suffering? Because I've heard a lot of comments, seen videos, read articles, and it says that people are really suffering when it comes to the farming sector. Well, what do you think the government can do to aid these people?
The only thing the government can do is to invest more into agri. How will he do this? Is to build more factories or more warehouses that are going to buy the produce of these farmers, because the main goal of the farmer is to plant and to harvest. Now, when they are done with harvesting all those produce, where does it go to? Does it become a burden to the farmer again, or it's being bought and then the profit returns back to the farmer? The main goal of every farmer is to make profit. So what do you gain if you spent a whole year farming? Okay, so let's take a produce that take longer years to bear fruit, and then you take like more than a year to invest everything. And you know, farming is not easy. Your energy goes into it, your money goes into it, because you're supposed to buy fertilizer, pesticide, weedicide, and all those. You're supposed to pay laborers that will have to be on the farm working for you. So if after all this you don't get what you're supposed to get, don't forget that farmers as well have a target. When I'm planting, I have a target that when I'm done harvesting, I should get like 4,000. I should get like 5,000. I should get like 1 million. And then when I'm done and I don't get that, it discourages me to do more. So you see, when the president came on board, he said that they don't want us to experience those days where Ghana, there was a huge famine, where we were short of food. He doesn't want us to experience that. And so he wants people to invest in farming. And not quite long, we had excess. We have excess of all those produce, especially rice, maize, because it goes to a time people were saying that the farmers were complaining that they are done with their produce, they have harvested everything, and it's there. They have a glut of rice and all that, and they don't have people purchasing it. Their customers are interested in importing foreign rice into the countries rather than patronize our local produce. So what the government can do best is build factories that are going to buy this produce directly from the farmers with good price. It's not because they are buying it from the government, so you intentionally, bargain on a price that wouldn't bring profit to the farmer. So you bargain on a fair price that at the end the farmer will not run at loss. Mind you, it is the farmer who is on the grounds. You are in your office and you are coming to buy that. The farmer should get greater part of the share than the government. So there should be a fair price. The government buys larger portion of the produce, store it in a warehouse, is it transform or into
process it into,
thank you, that's the right word, process it into finished good, brand it and export it outside. What's wrong with we exporting our own produce outside? We should start exporting it. I was happy when I don't know, was it Israel or no? I think 2 countries had a misunderstanding and the Ghana has to support. And so Mahama exported some of our rice, not in a way selling it to them, but
I've forgotten the country.
Not in a way selling it to them, but as a way of showing,
assisting them,
of assisting. They gave a huge, I think, millions of rice, and when you do that, you buy it from these local farmers. They are gaining money, and then those countries are also having a taste of what it feels like to eat a Ghana rice. So imagine this country becomes stable again. They will come together and feel like, well, maybe we should start also importing rice from Ghana, and then it starts from there. We cannot be importing. Then what is the use of our farmers? Because they're running at loss, and then with this notion that our local produce are not good, and it's only the
I think we need to change that.
We need to change that, and that has to do with those who process this local produce. Do it well. Don't do it and then as time goes on, you change it. You change the taste of the rice, the texture of the rice. No, if that is what those foreigners are doing, I'm not sure we'll be importing those nice. Me say we'll be monoka without cooking it. The aroma keke. It's so appetizing. But Ghana rice, a bit of and pracha. I don't know whether you think that some rice are like rubber. No,
you see the way you are downgrading it. Someone will hear it.
No.
And then it's going to be like, oh, if Miss Debbie says how the rice is tasting, then I'm not even going to patronize it.
No, that's not what I'm trying to say. All that I'm trying to say is that, like, let's make it nice. For the foreigners, they also buy it in its raw state and then they process it. I don't know what they added to it to make it smell so good. But
so you think Ghana can do better?
We can do better. We can. Because we have people traveling all around. Sometimes some of these farmers, they pay them to go outside the country, learn. It's either the government send them out or the government bring in experts from other countries. I've seen that in the northern region. They bring experts, they teach these farmers, they even bring seedlings that they can mix with a local seed and then plant it. So we can do same branding. At the end of the branding. When it smells good, Ghanaians, we like things that are peche. Like, you get it. Even if the thing is not nice, but the brand
is
like,
good.
It's so enticing. You will buy it.
Just as when you're going to buy watching, you see it in glass. Like with the big guy. But just that the person likes branding.
You get it. So the only thing they can do is what the government can do best is to buy major part of the produce from this farmers. Because if the farmers want to rely on, say, normal Ghanaians to come and buy the produce, I bet papa.
I think with buying a major of the produce from the farmers, I think they can buy and then send it to the government schools, the SHS, and make sure that these people eat made in Ghana
they've
food.
started.
Right.
They've started, but how long are we going to sustain that?
Well, President John Dramani Mahama has brought up this initiative. What happens to the subsequent government that will also come into power? Would they also continue with that?
That is another problem.
Yeah, and I think that is going to save us a lot of money.
Oh yes,
and even generate revenue for the government.
It's all.
Yeah,
and then in a way you are telling, a country. The generation of the country has to do with the student because they are the upcoming generation, those in schools. So if you start feeding them with this rice, in a way you are feeding them with the local produce, the Ghanaian taste. So they will mature with that. But even with the Ghanaian taste, that's saying, papa, how would they mature with that? That is it. But what the government is doing is best, but we can still do better. Distributing it to schools. If only the head teachers will not push it into
their house.
Because recently I saw one, they said DC.
Again?
Yes, DC for one schools. The government gave out fertilizer for schools who are into agriculture. And then the DC has opened a fertilizer factory autumn fertilizers. Now fertilizers no Mudiako school no is nowhere to be found, but the DC is now having a fertilizer factory. He's selling fertilizer. So whether that is a fertilizer he's selling or whether it belongs to the school,
but this is serious.
They are now investigating into the matter. So we are our own problem.
Own problem there. We are our own problem, and it's so bad.
Very, very.
So on this same issue again, I think on the floor of Parliament, I heard John Dumelo saying that he will urge or he will suggest that Parliament also has a farm. The Parliament also has a farm to plant produce and then sell it. And also transport it and export it, just as you said. And this one is not just for only Parliament. I just feel like everyone, like every household.
Yes.
If you have a backyard with fertile land, just plant something. You might not know.
You see, the advantage is that Accra is congested. You wouldn't even get a backyard to even farm.
That's one thing.
But when you go to like those areas, if you go to the North, if you go to the Volta, if you go to the OT region where, a house is here and then like maybe 30 minutes space in between before you see another person's house. You have a very vast backyard where I know my mom have a garden where she plants pepper. And I know they also and it helps because you don't have to spend money.
Yeah.
Thank you. It saves money. You don't have to spend money and buy this petty thing. So in a way, we are taming hunger. So that kind of hunger, you wouldn't experience that again. The only thing you will buy is a Maggi. Because salt, you can't plant salt, you can't plant Maggi. But when you have all these things, you have pepper, garden eggs, tomato, you have rice, you have all those things in your garden. The only thing you buy is salt and Maggi. You can't plant fish. You buy fish unless you are a fisherman. So I feel like agric it's cut across, regardless of the position you hold and the work, whether a white collar job, you can still be a farmer. John DeMello is a parliamentarian. I'm sure he has other businesses, but he's still a farmer. And he's making money out of that.
So please, we'll encourage each and everyone that if you try and then have a backyard garden, when you become a farmer, you become like a mother or a father, because you have to nurture whatever that you have planned. It's not easy, but I guess with time you get used to it. So please, that is how Farmers Day went. Right, let's dive into our news item. Ghana can't rely on donors for education, President Mahama. President John Dramani Mahama says Ghana must fund its own education system instead of depending heavily on donors. Speaking at the 2025 Doha Forum in Qatar, the president explained that international support is helpful, but long-term development in education can only be secured if Ghana rises and manages more of its own money. He pointed to the GET Fund, financed through 2.5% VAT on goods and services, as proof that Ghana can generate funding locally without waiting on external assistance. President Mahama also highlighted climate change challenges in agriculture. He said Ghana can no longer rely on rain-fed farming and must invest in irrigation systems to improve food production, support farmers, and create jobs. He stressed that governments will work to make irrigation affordable so that small farmers are not left behind. The president believes strengthening domestic revenue, building a modern agricultural system, and investing consistently in education will secure Ghana's future. So this is more or less like a 2-in-1 something, where the president spoke about our education sector and then spoke about agriculture as well. And then in short, he says that Ghana must not depend, or Ghana should stop depending too much on foreign donors for funding education. And he gave GET Fund as an example of how Ghana already raises money locally through taxes. He also wants more such strategies to finance schools, infrastructure, and tertiary education. He also says farming must not depend only on rainfall anymore due to climate changes. Right, so that is coming from President John Dramani Mahama, that we should stop depending on other countries for donation in terms of education. But I don't know, as a country, we are raising future leaders. Why do we have to depend on other countries to give us money to fund educational sector?
I don't know. I think that question should go directly to the leaders.
Because, excuse me to say, like, it doesn't sound well in my ear.
Oh no, it doesn't. It doesn't. Especially when you acclaim yourself to be
an independent country.
Yes, and then you end up being dependent on other countries. And let's even relate it to a normal life where maybe you depend on someone. Imagine someone comes asking you for something, SNM, give me money, SNM, give me. How will you feel? You'll be like, why? Am I your mom or am I your dad? Am I the one taking care of you?
Yeah.
When you ask someone something continuously, you become a burden to the person.
The person even gets tired.
The person gets tired of helping. So that is how Ghana is. We cannot succeed in education when we depend so much on foreign aid, like the US aid, especially,
right.
where they have to be supporting us in every little thing.
Yeah.
And that is when, if today Trump should decide that he's cutting ties with Ghana,
Oh, yeah, would you?
Yeah. Do you remember the 15% tariff they placed on?
Yeah.
Come and see, but leaders. Now we are Canadian. But recently they've raised the 15% from, I think, Ghana and some other countries, not all African countries. So you see, we are too much dependent on these people. And you see, it's sad because, see, SNM, we have everything. We have everything.
We are blessed.
We should
as a
rather be
country.
supporting them. No, they shouldn't be supporting us. Because if you go there, yes, they have a very nice country. Their things are so conducive.
They have resources.
They have
and all of that.
but they don't have natural resources like we do. They don't have the gold. They don't have the diamond. They don't have the silvers. They don't have that. We have it. But our problem is because we don't have the factories to process all this thing. Go there, you give it to me. Let me process and refine it. When I'm done, I take 90% and I give you 10%. How will you progress without 10%? You tell me. What are you going to do with that 10%? So on a long run, you will continue to be a slave in your own country while I become your boss. Because I'm not with that 10%. You can't do anything without 10%. You can't. Me taking the 90%, automatically I'm your boss. So whatever I tell you, you have to obey. You have to comply by it. So what the president is saying is true. So we should wait till US gave us maybe books. They should fund us with money. They should fund to build infrastructure to do this. How are we going to survive? The day they wake up and they say today we are feeling feverish, so we are not going to help you. Then it means we are doomed. It means we cannot do anything on our own. So the question now lies on why do we have leaders? No, why do we have you? What are your essence? What are your benefits? You are there because of this. You are to ensure that our resources are managed judiciously and they are being channeled into all the sectors. But no, we have the resources. We are seeing literally nothing. And Africa is the poorest among all the countries. Africa is the poorest. But we have everything. And I know, I'm not diverting it, but I know one day when we get to the creator, they will answer. Oh yes, you will have to answer. So we cannot depend on these people. We have to bring up. He talked about Get Fund.
Yeah.
Get Fund is good.
Yeah.
Get Fund supports these things.
Yeah.
But then Get Fund, ask yourself, no, because I can't remember those Get Fund. It goes to a time. The government pops the money in there. They are not using it for its intended purposes. The people who are in charge of this Get Funds are not using it for it. They end up dividing the money into three, taking up the larger part, sharing it to other counterparts so they'll keep quiet, and then the little money is being sent to schools. What would he use it for? What at all are we going to use that for? And you see, like with the time we've getting to or the era we are now, we shouldn't even be talking about building infrastructure. By now we should be done with building infrastructure for our education, and it should be left with maybe some petty things. But no. As at now, we are still talking about infrastructure. It's sad. We are still talking about infrastructure. I don't really follow trends of US news and stuff, but even the one I come across, maintain people that say, yeah, news, and infrastructure is lacking here and there. Even the remote areas, because US, as we are talking about, they have villages.
Yeah, they have
remote areas. They do.
Rural
like cottage and casa, they have it.
They have.
But even with that self, can you compare it to like Ghana here? And by now we are still talking about infrastructure. So I think we have to wake up as a country, find a way to resource ourselves, resource our education sector without aid from other countries. As I said, what if those countries wake up the next and tell you that we are not going to help you?
We are not going to.
What are we going to do?
We are not going to fund you anymore.
We are not going to fund you any longer.
What happens to the education sector then?
We are collapsing as a country. It means education is jago. Because as it stands now, our education is hanging.
Oh yes.
It's hanging. It's not being firmly grounded. So what he's saying is true. Now to the agriculture sector. Climate change there, it's either
it's bound to happen. Hamatan
Nerban. And I think every year with the kind of climate change we experience, I remember those times early June, July, now you shall see a third day. And so farmers start planting ahead of time.
Yeah.
But it's got to a time it changed. June, July, now so better. June, July is a period where it doesn't rain heavily. And then we entered, then they're not so enjoy. And then they say till that period. But now, like everything has changed. Every year, sometimes June, July, you don't even experience the month where you feel like this month is so top and top. And then the month you feel like it's so tono. Now it's so gem. So, like climate change, I think every year with the climate change, so there should be something that we use to, should I say track? Can you even track there?
Are you God?
Can you?
How can you track God?
We cannot track God.
Yes.
But they can. There is always a solution to every problem.
Yeah, to every problem.
So we can bring out a solution to that, and also help the farmers.
Yeah.
Because if the climate change have a very big or vast influence on the farmers, and they will, because we eat from what they do. So if it should have a negative effect on them, then it means automatically we the consumers at the latter end will suffer the more. So I feel like yes, the government should climate change in the here. And even climate change, a lot of things constitute to climate change. Emission from vehicles, fusing fuel from factories, all this thing. Because the climate change we are talking about, it is the doings, the activities we do every day. Contribute to that. It can change the whole atmosphere. Atmosphere. It can change the whole atmosphere. So our day in day out activities also contribute to this climate change we experience. So there should be something. That was why I was happy when the parliamentarians said they are bringing electrical vehicles, and so maybe I could see
that every parliamentarian will drive an electric vehicle.
I could see. I could see. I'll be happy if it will come to pass, and then it wouldn't only be for parliamentarians, but then it will be for all Ghanaians, because some vehicles do not even need to be on street. Why? Because as they move, they produce these emissions that are very, very bad. You get it. And then all these things, as I said, it's contribute to what we experience in climate change.
And it's very poisonous.
Very, very poisonous. Yeah. Very, very poisonous. So
for that day, they need to watch it. Climate change in there is bound to happen. So whatever that they can put in place to make sure that they help these farmers, so they don't have to rely on rain to irrigate their crops. Moving on. CDD Ghana, politicians oppose OSP to control prosecution. The Director of Policy and Advocacy at CDD Ghana, Dr. Kojo Asante, believes some Ghanaian politicians are resisting the office of the Special Prosecutor because they want to influence who gets prosecuted. He said the political class has shown discomfort with an independent prosecutor who can pursue corruption cases without interference. According to him, although the OSP was set up to fight corruption impartially, the office continues to face harassment, attempts to weaken its mandate, and effort to slow down its work. Dr. Sante insisted that the OSP has proven useful in promoting accountability, and weakening it would be a major setback for the country. He concluded that if Ghana truly wants to curb corruption and reduce impunity in public service, then protecting the OSP must be a priority. So this is coming from the Director of Policy and Advocacy at CDD Ghana, Dr. Kojo Asante, who believes that Ghanaian politicians are resisting that the office of the Special Prosecutor should be removed because they don't get to influence who gets to be prosecuted or who gets to be charged for corruption. I like the way you're looking at me. What is running through your mind?
It's because I'm not trying to get it very well.
Okay, so let me take it again.
Yes, please take it again.
So the Director of Policy and Advocacy at CDD Ghana, Dr. Kojo Asante, believes some Ghanaian politicians are resisting the office of the Special Prosecutor because they want to influence who gets prosecuted. Do you get it from there? Mr. B, do you get it from there? They are trying to influence who gets prosecuted.
So it's because they don't get that opportunity to influence.
Yeah. But meanwhile, we sat in this country and we are like, the office of the Special Prosecutor is being influenced, and then they are not working as an independent body, and
so
then so on and so forth.
What he's saying,
so according to what he's saying,
is working as independent body, but it's only Ghanaians that are not getting the chance.
Is the politicians.
The politicians are not getting a chance.
Who do not get to influence.
Okay.
So meaning that the OSP is not even giving them a chance to influence him.
Yeah, I get you.
Has to go and take this person up. This person is engaged in corruption and then all of that. So obviously, what he's saying is that the OSP is working as an independent body. And then he said the political class has shown discomfort with an independent prosecutor who can pursue corruption cases without interference. So according to him, although the OSP was set up to fight corruption impartially, the office continues to face harassment, attempts to weaken its mandate, and efforts to slow down its work. So Dr. Asante insisted that the OSP has proven useful in promoting accountability, and weakening it will become a major setback for the country. So the office of the special prosecutor, in his words, shouldn't be scrapped, that they are seeing some sort of progress. That is what Dr. Asante is saying.
Oh, yes. Progress, okay. I see progress. Yeah, I overheard him where he said that the office of the special prosecutor should not be dissolved. They should rather reform it.
Reform it.
Yes, rather than dissolving it. And he talking about politicians not getting the chance to influence who the OSP needs to arrest or take on and all that. See, all this lies on we not seeing what the OSP is doing. Let's not pretend as if he is doing something and we are not talking about it. We are in Ghana, and as much as we are not in the office with the OSP, we can see what is going on, because day in, day out, we see things flying online, and so we know what is going on. You're not supposed to be in the office checking on the OSP. Hey, OSP, who will come here? And then never. No, in your comfort zone, you can tell what is going on, and we know what the OSP is supposed to do: take on corruption and corruption-related cases, and we saw it. Why people are calling on the dissolvement of the OSP is because we thought, or let me say it this way, we thought, because the case is not yet concluded, that he failed with the Ken Oforiatta issue. You brought someone out that the person is a fugitive, and then all of a sudden, what are you doing? Hey, Obia, you saw a fugitive. All of a sudden, you are quiet. You say the person is sick. Now the person is in other country telling you the time he will be ready for interrogation. No, tell me, which country will you see that? Like, will you see that? They've taken you on, did that. And I learned, they said the OSP is collaborating with, I think, officers in the other country. And that's what he said. Yeah. So you should be a man of your words. You see, the office of the special prosecutor is an office that, in my own terms, it's an office that do not talk consistently. They don't talk consistently because they're supposed to get their facts and everything right. It's not something that I'll say and still get back on my words and be like, man, can you? No. Because you do your homework and everything right. So if you're coming out and you're telling me that Q is a fugitive, you should get everything that shows that indeed he is a fugitive. And without explanation, like the soldiers, obey before complain. You should be there. That is how it's supposed to be. It shouldn't be in a case where shall I say, arose the expectations of people. And all of a sudden, bram, you put them down. How do you expect people to feel? Every person will see you to be incompetent. To the extent that you've read another issue about this same issue with Strategic Mobilization Limited. How on earth will an OSP raise an issue concerning this company, and the company will come back to tell you, the OSP, in the face that you are wrong? No, it doesn't happen. Then it means that you, the OSP, there is more to do. Because if a whole company that you find an issue against should come back and tell you that what you are saying doesn't tally, make an allegation that you came to their office to steal computers and stuff. Like, tell me, even a child in the mother's womb will tell you that the OSP is incompetent. So you saying that politicians are not getting to influence the OSP on who to take up? Well, maybe he might be right, because we live in a country where immediately the government appoints you, automatically the government have 90% control over what you do and what you say. And what he is saying, for me, I believe it should be related to the other part. The other part, because you remember when Oforiatta left the country, they were questioning, especially Martin Kpebu, questioning the OSP that, why didn't you stop Ken Oforiatta from leaving the borders of Ghana. And then he said that don't forget that Oforiatta is related to Akufo-Addo. So it means that indirectly, Akufo-Addo has a 90% control over the OSP. So if you're saying that Ken Oforiatta is related to Akufo-Addo, it means that Akufo-Addo stopped you from, that is what you're trying to say. He stopped you from arresting Ken Oforiatta. So indirectly, the government that's appointed you has an influence on you. So in a way, he might be right that it's because they are not, but come on. That shouldn't be a case.
That shouldn't be a case.
That shouldn't be a case. You're incompetent. And idiot. And that because see, even as an employee, for 8 good years, nothing to show. Oh, nothing to show. I feel like they just want a way to cover this up. So if the OSP is a problem, I think it will still go to 1%. That has to do with the president. He will have to decide. Right. If you bring the petition and it feels like Kesia Jabin is competent, he wouldn't listen to what you're saying. When you feel like, well, per what you are saying and per my investigation, per the board of committee who have investigated into this matter saying similar, then you need to go. But for me, the OSP needs to go.
The OSP, you don't think there should be reforms?
No, what reform again? It should go. After he is gone, they should check in the office of the special prosecutor. What are they lacking?
Right, let's look at our last topic briefly. Naimos raised Galamsey sites along Birim and Ayensu rivers, seize excavators. The National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat has carried out massive operations against illegal mining activities along the Birim and Ayensu rivers in the eastern region. The race took place on Saturday, covering areas such as Aigbetofe and Akansi Osino. Several illegal mining sites were dismantled, excavators seized or disabled, and structures destroyed to stop miners from returning. 5 excavators were seized, where others were immobilized in different areas. The team also confiscated fuel, pumping machines, and an unregistered Toyota Land Cruiser, while temporary shelters and pits used for Galamsey were demolished. However, NIMOS reports that some miners are changing tactics by hiding or stripping excavators to avoid seizure. Environmental damage in the affected areas remains severe, with large pits and polluted water bodies. Officers say continuous action can gradually restore the rivers. How impressed are you with the work of the NIMOS so far? Do you think that they are doing their best, or they are moving on a slow pace, or you like how they are moving and how they are raiding illegal mining sites?
They are doing their best, but their best is not enough. That is what I would say. Well, from the beginning, they were doing massively well. We saw how they raid on this Galamseyers unexpectedly. How they even arrest people at dawn with their wives and children complaining and all that. We saw how they were also attacked, because trust me, you are fighting against a python, and you can't come to fight against a python and the python will just stand there and be looking at you without fighting back. And so that is to a clear example of the NIMOS and Galamseyers. These Galamseyers are not just going to sit down and they look at you coming to scatter what they feel like is a convenient means of their livelihoods. With the NIMOS, for me, it's not enough.
What do you think they can do better?
What can they do better? The only thing they can do, their own, is to go on site and show that these people are not mining. In a way, they work with the security personnel as well. In a way, arrest these people. Not say they are going to arrest them, but the police will do that and ensure that they don't get back. So what they can do best, I feel like what they can do best is what they are doing. What else can they do best? The only thing they can do is ensure that these people are no longer on on top of our water bodies and in our forest reserves. But then the only thing I will want them to do is, you see, this issue of Galamsey shouldn't be fought with every details being exposed on social media. No. it should be fought in secret. It should be like you be an investigative journalist, and then so you are done, you are through with everything, you bring it out, and then expose the basana, like massive. You have evidence and everything backing what you're saying. It's not as if he say no abeka. The more reason why I'm saying this is that those galamseyers are like they are aggressively waiting for 9 months. They are seriously waiting, because as I said, they see what they do. They don't see it as illegal. They see it as a convenience, a clear route to success. Because if I'm a galamsey and I'm taking 15,000 a day, not a month too, a day, and why should I waste my time for white collar job? Once I'll be paying quarter of what I take in a day. So when you keep update, it's good to update the public and know that this is what we are doing. But the more you update them, they are getting themselves prepared. Okay, their next route is here. They are also prepared. They are waiting for you, and they are going to attack back. So 9 months, the best thing 9 months can do is they should be well resourced. I feel like when they are going for such an operation, they should even have bulletproof on them. Even the journalists going with them, they should have a bulletproof. They should have things that will safeguard them. And talking about Galamsey, with what is going, I'm not sure we can fight Galamsey. They say, baby, all hope is lost.
No, please, all hope are not lost. Don't worry.
So
let's just be hopeful that things will get better.
Hopeful, yeah. So you've been hopeful since up till now. You are not seeing anything.
So these people came into power how many? Almost a year.
Oh yes, almost a year.
Almost a year. So let's see how it goes.
Well, but with 9 months, they are trying.
They are trying.
They are trying, but it's not enough.
Yeah, so let's give them some time and let's see how it goes. Right. Miss Debbie, it is well. Thank you so much for joining us in the news headline review. Up next, we have Debbie's Girl.
Welcome to Debbie's Grill, where we talk about issues that matter to the state, void of politics, fear of favor. Now, at the basic level, government schools have more qualified teachers than private schools. This is coming from Mr. Awudu Mahama. He is saying that private schools does better than public schools, and he's a managing editor for Custodian newspaper. I think this is basically clear. You see, private schools will always do better than public schools because when it has to do with private schools, there is strict monitoring. You don't just do anything you want. In a way, they mean business. The welfare of the students is their concern. The success of the students is their concern. Now, when you compare government schools to private schools, the government schools will also tell you that the success of the students is their concern. But when you experience these two sides, you can clearly tell yourself that private schools are more serious than government schools. And all this is coming because of the WASSCE results that we all heard of in the previous week, where a lot of students failed. Teachers in government school, I wouldn't say they are not serious, but I would say some of them, 50% of them, do not really care. Whether you come to school, it's none of their business. Whether you study, it's none of their business. Whether they give you homework and you don't do it, it's none of their business, because at the end of the month, they will be paid. When you come to the private schools, you do your homework is the business of the proprietor. It's the business of the proprietress. It's the business of your teacher. You coming to school regularly is the business of the proprietor and is the business of the teacher. You passing your exam is the business of the owner of the school. It's their business because your parents pays huge sum of money. And even you come to think of it, something you pay for How do you cater for it? You cater for it like an egg. You know how precious egg is. When it falls down right now, you've lost it. That is how private school manage their affairs, because they see that as a valuable property. They cannot just let it go like that, and so they protect it with all their might. But when you come to government school, they don't care, and that is what we see. What we've been seeing. I've been fortunate to attend a private school from my basic level. The headmistress will always be walking about from classroom to classroom whilst the teacher is sleeping. I can remember some time ago, our teacher was teaching us, and all of a sudden it's like he was feeling dizzy. So he told us that we should take our book and read. He wants to lie down and bed. So he laid his head on the table. And you know, students get an opportunity to talk, to discuss about unnecessary things, not knowing that the mistress was standing by the window looking at what was going on. He just bumped into the classroom, and then with his hand he hit on the table very hard. And then the teacher woke up and he was questioning him. Why would you sleep? This is the time for business. You're supposed to be teaching the students. If you know you are sick, you should ask for permission. They're supposed to replace you, and a whole lot. So it should tell you that private school, they always mean business, and they are conscious of what they are doing, and they are prepared for what they want. And so you don't take it lightly. And a parent whose ward is in private school will not allow the ward to be in the house, because I'm paying for the fees. I can't pay for fees for you to be in the house and be doing what? But in government schools, even some parents feel so reluctant because they don't pay for anything. The only thing you have to pay for is PTA. That is if you don't present yourself during their meeting. And maybe some petty things. But when you come to private school, you're buying textbooks, you're paying for fees, you're buying exercise books. And most of these private schools, they have a particular textbook they use from basic level to JHS. You don't buy a textbook outside. When you bring it and it's not a recommended textbook the school uses, they'll sack you. You have to buy. They don't care whether you've already spent money. You have to buy what the school needs and not what you prefer. You're supposed to buy what the school uses. And so I remember those times, the textbooks, the exercise book, the notebook, you buy it from the school, and then they calculate everything plus the fees. And the amount you're paying is not something small. It's not something to joke about. And these teachers are always serious. You don't even get a time to rest as a student, because even on Saturdays there are classes, and it's compulsory for every student. Even when it's third term, that other schools are on vacation, government schools are on vacation, other schools are on vacation. For private schools, there are extra classes, and it's compulsory. You are supposed to be there. So all these things are something that prepares this child. For a student to fail at a higher level, it starts from the basics. And that is the concept the private schools have grabbed. They know that when these students are well prepared from the basic level, when they get to that stage, they don't get to struggle. And so they make sure that you go through the hard times at the basic level. When they need to cane you, they will cane you. When they need to punish you severely for you to sit and learn, they will do it. And when it comes to repeating in private schools, forget it. They can repeat it more than 10 times for you to get it. Then, unless you get tired, and then you tell your dad that you are no longer interested in the school, they should get you a government school or something. They will keep repeating you in that class till you get it, and then they will make sure that they push you to other proceeding classes. But in government school, you don't get to see all these things. Even if the government should appoint someone to go around all those schools and then ensure that everything is going on smoothly, they end up taking bribes. They end up taking money. And so they don't report what is on the ground. See, we have most of these private teachers are teachers who further up their studies, and then they become teachers employed in these government schools. Some of them are very, very good. They are very, very good. But I don't know, immediately you get to the government school, it's something else. So when it has to do with government school, there are a lot of things we are supposed to do. Infrastructure is one. So when you go to private schools, they can do everything. if it means using a peswa, their last money on them to buy something, or especially when it has to do with laboratories like computers and stuff, when it has to do with the proprietor using his last money to buy computer for the student to study, he will do it. I remember those times we used to study computer in the house of our proprietor. He has an empty house that he has built and he's using it for nothing. And so it was stored with computers. That is where we go for our computer practices. That is where we learn ICT. They don't care. They don't care killing themselves for the school to survive and for the student to pass and pass well. They will do it. They will kill themselves to do it. But when you come to government school, no one cares. And private school, when you don't come, mind you, you will not be paid. You see that your money is being subtracted. You don't get your full pay. You don't get your full salary. You won't get it. But government schools, no. Whether I come to school, whether I don't come, the government will pay me. What matters is that at the end of the month, I'll get my salary and I'm cool to go. Whether you are you are serious with your studies, it's none of my business. And so you won't even see teachers scolding students to learn. No. Those days they used to do it. But now there is no form of punishment. Corporal punishment has even been taken out. And so that is why we see what you are seeing. For government school to match up with private school, there are a lot of homework they are supposed to do. A lot. There have to be strict measures on students. By force, you will have to learn. By force, you are supposed to come to school with notes. Can you just imagine? We have students who go to school without book, who go to school without pen. So how are you going to study? In private schools, it's not like that. You cannot come to class and then tell a teacher that you've forgotten your textbook in the house, your exercise book, your pen. Like, are you serious? But government schools, no one cares. It's your business, it's your life. So for government schools to compete with private school, there are a lot of homework we need to do, not only to the government, to the teachers and everyone. Thank you for making time with me on Debbie's Grill.
Thank you, Miss Debbie. There's a lot of homework we need to do. And that actually reminds me of the comments President John Dramani Mahama made, where he attributed the failure to WASI to basic education. Yeah. He says it starts from there. Yeah. So
that's the foundation.
I come to school, I've done my homework. You mark me down. They don't even check what happened. Why is your studies like just a government school? They found and it's very, 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 very bad. And you've seen the results of it.
Yes.
You've seen our results.
And sometimes when the teachers are tired, they'll tell you,
and what annoys me, especially in school, is that the teacher teaches something and then you tell the teacher that you don't understand what you've taught him. Like, go to your colleague, those that understand, go to them.
Yeah, they'll teach you.
Then why are they paying you? It's so sad. I think this is something that we need to look at as a country. Right. With that being said, this is where we draw the curtains for the first segment of the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. It's 2 minutes to 8 o'clock. We'll be up with the news shortly.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with Ghana Talks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With Ghana Talks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. Ghana Talks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. Ghana Talks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
We bring you local news, business news, international, sports, and entertainment news right here on GTR.
to the morning news update on Ghana Talks Radio. Coming up, Vice President urges new doctors to serve with empathy and professionalism. Flood relief arrives in Mamobi and Newtown as Inner Drain project begins. Greater Accra Regional Minister launches quarterly food and exhibition fair. Legal practitioner urges reform of special prosecutors' office. Experts caution against judging education system solely on WASI result and senior high school placement. These and many more coming up shortly in business, sports and showbiz. Vice President Professor Nana Jane Opoku Agyeman has called on newly qualified medical doctors to prioritize healthcare delivery to underdeserved communities. Addressing the 6th congregation of the Accra College of Education, she stressed on how some communities struggle with inadequate access to healthcare, urging new graduates to help bridge these gaps. The Vice President also highlighted the need for the doctors to commit to equity, compassion, and to uphold the principles of Hippocratic Oath. This call comes amid concerns about the shortage of doctors in rural areas.
You are a testament to this institution's vision. Your sleepless nights, countless tutorials, long hours on the wards are designed to shape more than just your mind. They aim to shape your character. As you move to the next step, to the next stage of your medical career, I remind you that the privilege of your training comes with a duty to serve. Not just where it is easiest, but where you are most needed. Many of our communities still face serious gaps in healthcare access, and those best equipped to help must prioritize the duty they have chosen over personal convenience. You are entering a profession built on service, courage, and equity. Let your choices reflect not just your ambitions, but your commitment to the oath you have taken. That is, to go where suffering is, to heal where healing is scarce, and to honor the trust Ghana has placed in your hands. Remember that every patient you meet deserves your respect. Treat them with empathy. Carry the AGM values of integrity, leadership, innovation, passion, community service, and heart power as your guide. As ACM enters its second decade, we expect this institution to deepen research and community partnerships, lead waves of medical innovation, and let Ghanaian excellence shine globally. And I have no doubt that yes, ACM can.
Chairman of the Accra College of Medicine, Professor Emeritus Stephen Ade, also urges government to create a policy framework that strengthens the role of private tertiary institutions in national development.
Last month, I had the privilege of presenting the first Stephen Boateng Memorial Lecture, that's the founder of Kesbin University, when they instituted the Kesbin University's annual lectures on the role of private universities in national development. In it, I emphasized the need and importance of a national policy to catalyze the complementary role of the private universities in enlarging access, promoting creativity, innovation, and entrepreneurship in higher education. It is not for naught that in America, for example, almost all the Ivy League institutions come from the private sector. We as a nation have reached a stage, the last time I checked, with 90 accredited private universities. and therefore there's a need for a dedicated policy and agenda by the state to enhance the contribution of private universities and colleges to the development of Ghana.
Communities in Ayawaso North constituency are finally getting relief from flooding and poor sanitation issues. The Member of Parliament for Ayawaso North, Yusuf Jaja, has cast sword for the construction of inner drains aimed at addressing these challenges. The project is expected to be completed within 6 to 8 months. The project is also part of the government's broader initiative to transform Ghana into a construction-driven economy.
Doesn't mean the project is just going to start in Accra New Town. Because it's very strong, he has organized a gang of 4, which means he has set 4 teams to start work at a goal. So one team will be in Mamobi East, traditionally, Mamobi West, and Kwatru. That's 3. The 4th gang is also in my area, traditionally, which is now Alidu. This is my assembly member, honorable assemblyman. Alidu electoral area, Alaji Chinese. We need these drains in this community. But the unfortunate thing is that the work that should be done by a machine, which will take like just 1 day to open up for the form work to be done and for the casting of concrete or whatever, because of encroachment and because it's lungu kona, the machines cannot go in. So we are using manual. For those of you who may have containers on the gutter, I beg you, if they say move your container, move it. When they finish, if you can bring it back, that will even be more better for
The Greater Accra Regional Minister Linda Oklo has announced a new quarterly food and exhibition fair aimed at linking farmers and traders for direct sales. The initiative seeks to reduce post-harvest losses and provide consumers with fresher and more affordable food options. The regional minister also stressed on the significance of agriculture in driving economic growth.
When farmers have a good market, the region is therefore working on 3 key interventions: quarterly regional food and exhibition fair, which will help to link farmers, processors, aggregators, and traders to help with district sales, networking, and gaining contracts. Establishment of our farmers market to reduce post-harvest losses, to bring consumers closer to the fresh and affordable food, to reduce transportation costs for farmers, leveraging Greater Accra export advantage with both the Tema Harbour and Kotoka International Airport. Farmers can produce high-value fruits, vegetables, poultry and fish for export. This will increase foreign exchange and create more jobs.
And that was from the Regional Minister of Greater Accra, Linda Oklo. A legal practitioner, Enoch Afokwa, has argued against dissolving the Office of the Special Prosecutor. According to him, the OSP is a crucial institution in anti-corruption efforts and should be reformed rather than abolished. The call comes amid growing criticism of the OSP's handling of high-profile corruption cases. However, Mr. Afokwa argues that the solution lies in reforming the Office of the Special Prosecutor.
Your tentacles, like the octopus, seeking to grab everything that comes your way. Your role is defined under Section 3. Functions of the OSP states that you are there to investigate corruption and corruption-related offences. That is the purpose on which you were granted the powers of the police to arrest, to seize, to investigate, to detain, to prosecute, and to do all those manner of things in respect of the 2 core functions. If he insults, if he abuses, if he fights, it's not your business. You only call in the Ghana Police Service and transfer because they have the jurisdiction to entertain those mandates. So if he acts on that mandate, then certainly there are procedural propriety that you can run the OSP on. Pursuant to Article 146, where under Section 15 of the OSP Act 959, you can petition the president on stated misbehavior for the removal of the OSP if you think that you have grounds that can succeed. A prima facie matter that will cause the Chief Justice to set up a committee prescribed under Section 15 to pursue investigation in that matter to cause the removal of the OSP in that regard. So certainly, once we have considered certain procedures to be able to, as it were, strengthen the institution, it does not call that once there are some mistakes, it does not call that, or once we've seen that we have not realized the intended purpose for the establishment of the OSP in terms of convictions or in terms of the pursuance of corruption and corruption-related matters, that often be scrapped. Then we are not being charitable to the nation called Ghana.
Director of Advocacy and Policy Engagement at CDD Ghana has cautioned against using WASI results and senior high school placement as the sole measure of a good education system. According to Dr. Kojo Asante, such approach could have negative consequences in the future. He stressed that focusing solely on examination results and placement overlooks critical issues of understanding basic concepts, critical thinking and character development. This was after the WASI results revealed a significant decline in performance, with core mathematics pass rate dropping to 48.73 from 66.86. Dr. Asante attributed this decline to a culture that prioritizes passing examinations over genuine learning and development of students.
This is what is missing for me, is where the parents are. How are we mobilizing and engaging? Because they are the ones whose children and their futures have been toyed with over, and it doesn't look like when we are doing education policy, they are the center of it. And they are organized enough to ensure that we do the right things. So it's come up again. But as I said, if we reduce our education to WASI results, to school placement, because that's when, there's always a conversation. Where is the conversation about substance, quality education? How does it fit into the transformation agenda? And driven by the people who stand to benefit, the parents, everybody, every Ghanaian who is looking at this, because the way we are going to exist here, if we don't have a good foundation for training people, we are going to have this very haphazard governance and social environment, and then it piles up at some point. The system can't hold anymore.
In related news, convener of One Ghana movement, Senior Ahosi, has slammed Ghana's education for low-quality human resources. According to him, Ghana lacks deliberate policies to produce globally competitive professionals. He stressed that policymakers must focus on long-term strategies rather than short-term gains. Mr. Hosi also highlighted the need for systemic reforms, prioritizing quality education and equipping students to thrive globally.
At core, what really is our policy? How is that policy going to make sure that a child born today, by the time he's 18 years and has entered the university, the government has planned his life as far as education, his culture, his societal responsibility is concerned? When he enters the university, what do you get? Now you put that whole matter aside. There's a bigger problem that is coming. If this is what we are seeing, what do you think is happening in the university? I don't know who is thinking and talking about it. We are hiring. Me, I hire people. I have about 100 people under my belt. I'm praying that I get more productive and maybe get to 1,000 and more. I have to deal with people every day. I'm telling you, the quality of our human resource is extremely low.
And it stems from education.
It starts from the education, and there's no deliberate policy. He was talking about something about what's the policy relative to our economic outlook, our social outlook, and how are we allowing education to actually match that. There's a total mismatch because there's nothing. We are on autopilot. There's education policy sitting on its own, which some ministry, the Ministry of Education will be running. Economic policy sitting on its own somewhere. What is our plan out?
In business, the Food and Beverages Association of Ghana, FABAC, has attacked the Electricity Company of Ghana and the Ghana Water Company, accusing the two utilities of crippling businesses and dragging the economy down with years of inefficiency and waste. FABAC says the latest tariff increases approved by the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission are intolerable and must be suspended immediately. The association insists the utilities have become a burden rather than partners in economic growth and cautions that the new tariffs will shut down factories, raise food prices, and worsen the cost of living crisis. FABAC says the decision to raise electricity tariffs by 9.8% and water tariffs by 15.9% is unacceptable, unjustifiable, and insensitive. The association argues that Ghanaians are still waiting for ECG to explain how it intends to fix what it calls the canker of inefficiency, financial waste and mismanagement exposed by Parliament's Public Accounts Committee. FABAC stressed that this cannot be swept under the carpet and says the country deserves to know how ECG plans to cure the canker rather than hide behind tariff adjustment. The association described ECG and the Ghana Water Company as a real canker in the economic development of Ghana and says ECG has become the very disease it was created to cure. FABAC says the power distributor was meant to power national growth but now drains productivity and trust for every corner of the economy. It's citing efficiencies, losses, mismanagement, poor worker attitude, revenue shortfalls, and poor service delivery as the real reasons the utilities are collapsing under their own weight. FABAC says instead of fixing these chronic structural problems, the Public Utilities and Regulatory Commission continues to punish consumers with new tariff increases. It insists Ghana cannot continue paying for incompetence and corrupt acts. The association says it is alarmed that ECG overspent its approved budget by 189.2 million without authorization. FABAC is also demanding a leadership accountability framework that names those responsible. It asks for full disclosure of procurement processes, how spending ballooned from 1 billion to over 8.3 billion in 2023. It says technical and commercial losses now exceed 30%, making ECG one of the worst performers in Africa. The group warns that the tariff increase will force many businesses, especially small medium enterprises, to shut down and raise prices. It also says that consumers should not be paying for inefficiencies when ECG has repeatedly refused to publish transparent operational audits. Raising product prices will worsen the cost of living and destabilize a sector that is a key contributor to jobs and revenues. FABAC is demanding an immediate suspension of the tariff increases, a full operational audit of ECG and the Ghana Water Company with public disclosure, an expressive and aggressive loss reduction with measurable targets, enforcement of accountability and prosecution of internal theft, and a cost recovery model based on efficiency rather than endless tariff hikes. The association insists Ghana cannot tax increase its way out of the crisis in the power and water sectors. FABAC says the solution is restructuring, digitization, accountability, and proper revenue management. To sports, Asante Kotoko coach Abdul Karim Zito has blamed his players for Sunday's 1-0 loss to Hoho United in the Ghana Premier League. Kotoko never recovered after conceding a 25th minute goal through Williams, Odo's inch-perfect free kick for the host. Reflecting on the performance, Zito did not hold back his disappointment. Tried as they did, the Porcupine Warriors could not find a pass to pass the host. Kotoko have scored 14 goals in 13 league matches this season, averaging just around a goal per game. As underwhelming as it seems, Kotoko's goal tally is only bettered by Karela United 15, Heart of Lions 17 and Midiama 19. The Porcupine Warriors are now 5th on the league table with 21 points, 5 behind first place Midiama SC. Kotoko's next league match is at home against Dream FC on Sunday, December 14th. And that's how we end it on the morning news update. Do also log on to all streaming platforms at GhanaTalks Radio for more news stories. I am Deborah Dorso. Good morning.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with Ghana Talks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With Ghana Talks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. Ghana Talks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. Ghana Talks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
Ghana Talks Radio ɛwɔ UK abrɛkyimɛmu ɛna from Ghana mu ha ɛde sound system mekyerɛ spinning machine papa ɛfiri amano ne aba begu ɔman Ghana mu ha enti sɛ woyɛ ayie woyɛ engagement woyɛ wedding woyɛ birthday party political parties a moyɛ rally sɛ moyɛ asɔre a moyɛ crusade sɛ wo carnival or any kind of event na wo pe spinning machine papa ɛboa sound no mu ɛde dia ɛne me kanfo GTR sounds ɛde ɛma wo yɛwɔ live band nso a woto nsa ɛde frɛn a yɛbɛtimi ababɛboa ama wo dwumadi a wo die no nso atimi ayɛ kama paa yɛwɔ enkran poponi mantamo anya aponche hotel ɛhɔ pɛpɛpɛ ɛna yɛbutuo odi ane sɛ wo bɛfrɛ mpanifoɔ ɛwɔ 0546 960510 GTR sounds emu wode angaza.
This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
Good morning to you once again. You are welcome to the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show right here on Ghana Talks Radio. This is the second segment of the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, and as you know it, on the second segment, we discuss national issues. We bring along knowledgeable guests who are going to share their informed perspectives on issues that matter to you every morning right here on the show. And I must say that this morning I have a young-looking gentleman right here, and he is the NPP Communications member, Abdul Razak. Good morning, Mr. Abdul.
Good morning.
Hope all is well.
How are you doing?
I'm fine. I don't know what is in my throat.
Get some water, you'll be fine.
Yeah, I'll be fine. Or maybe some hot coffee. Yeah. Producer, please bring me coffee. How are you? How's the weekend for you?
I'm doing good.
Oh, wow.
Thank God.
Bless God. How did you celebrate the Farmers' Day?
I stated this here the last time. But before I go into that, I want to extend my greetings to your followers, yourself, and, the workers around this vicinity. People are doing a great job.
Thank you.
And we thank you very much for that.
Thank you too.
The Farmers' Day was supposed to be a day of joy for our farmers. It was supposed to be a day of celebration, but that was not what we saw, because you have incidents where farmers have their produce, no market for them. You have incidents where farmers are unable to, make income from their years of or season of suffering. It kind of poses a threat, and it's really a situation undesirable. So we are asking or calling on the government to make a deliberate attempt in addressing this issue. It's really affecting us as a nation, considering the fact that farmers, as they say, are the backbone of our economy. We should make a deliberate attempt to addressing the challenges that confronts them. Yes, I see government reluctance, or there's no even a clear policy or a deliberate attempt to solve the issue that our farmers are going through. And that is unfortunate of the government. Today, as we speak, if there's going to be an election in areas where we have large number of people farming, President Mahama will lose the election massively, because he has underperformed, and our farmers are not happy with him. Yes.
Yeah. That's so sad.
Very sad.
Yeah. So what do you think the government can do, or what are some of the measures you think they can put in place to aid these farmers?
You see, one of the problems we have as a nation is that our farm produce are always, traded in its raw form. And so we are calling on the government to make a deliberate effort in ensuring that we have factories that can process them into finished goods, and then we'll be able to export and then make income from that, produce. The issue of rice, for instance, we have rice that are locally produced rice, right?
They say our rice is not nice.
Yeah, so what we are saying is that President, let's say the government can make a deliberate attempt or effort to establishing a factory that can process the rice,
a rice factory,
to a very much better form, and also getting a fund that will be used to purchase the rice, buffer stocks and stuff. We can be using that to feed our children in various school. Yes, this is something that government has not taken into consideration.
But I thought we had a rice processing factory.
Yes, that was introduced by Nanado's government.
But
yes,
how many do we have so far?
Well, I don't have the
figures.
The figures.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. That's fine. Yeah, Simo. They said our rice is not nice. So when it happens like that, people don't get to patronize it.
And this time around, the issue is that the prices of the rice and beans and all other, farm produce are, they are low as compared to when we were in power. So under Akufo-Addo, the farmers were making, a reasonable cash from, farm produce.
Right.
Yes, farming was some sort of a good venture that everybody would like to venture in. But today, as we speak, going into farming is so boring, considering the fact that at the end of the day, there will be no market for the produce, and your investment will be, it will get stuck. So you would have to, be wallowing in poverty, and you'll be in a situation where you'll be unable to even take care of yourself, not to talk of your children. So this is a situation that's undesirable to farmers in general, and I think a deliberate effort should be made by the government, or must be made by the government, to addressing this challenge.
Would you say that the way we package and then brand our produce is also a factor that is why people don't get to patronize it?
Well, I don't think so. Maybe to some extent. Yes, because in whatever you do, you get, as along the line, you get new measures, you get new ideas,
right?
And so that's what I made mention, that the government should make deliberate effort, so that even what we are producing is not the best, we'll be able to advance it to a certain level that the society will accept it. You understand? And by adopting new measures and strategies, we can learn from other countries as well, so that we get our things done better. And at the end of the day, we'll be making profit out of farming.
Right. But with that said, let's move on to the issue of galamsey. Galamsey is a crisis right here in this country, and it has become, let's say, life-threatening to us in terms of it's destroying our water bodies. Yes, they say be piper. Galamsey is your neighbor. When it comes to irrigating our crops, it makes it very difficult for farmers to irrigate their crops, and then they are destroying our water bodies, and it's causing a threat to our life. We've seen this government actually put some measures in place to make sure that they put,
for example, which measures?
We've seen them deploy task force to the galamsey sites. We've also seen NIMOS, and I wanted to ask, are you impressed with the progress so far from NIMOS?
I'm not impressed.
Oh, because just recently they've seized excavators, they've seized water pumps, and they've even donated those water pumps to the farmers, and then some other materials.
You see, all these interventions you talked about, some of them are for the optics, and some of them are already or were already in existence. Look, let me tell you, this government has not done anything different with regards to the fight against galamsey. They haven't done anything different from what Akufo-Addo was doing. Is it about deploying task force? Is it about the NIMOS? Is it about seizing excavators? These are all old strategies. All these things happened during an Addo's regime. So I'm not impressed, because today we are seeing members of parliament from the NDC side actively involved in galamsey. And you see, we are not even surprised that during the election, they promised the people that when they vote for them, they will allow them to do galamsey. Yes, NDC officials, top executives of the NDC, they promised the people that when they vote for them in the campaign piece, that they will allow them to do galamsey. So look, what we are seeing is not something that we should be surprised with.
And was this statement, was it said on a platform, or is a rumor that you heard? Or something?
It was said on a platform. Look, when you go to campaign pit and you organize galamsey pit and you organize galamsey, yes, that's a platform, right?
That's a platform.
Yes, so it was said in a platform.
On a large platform to these galamsey.
Yes, that they should vote for them and come and do galamsey, and that nothing will happen to them. And look, we have honorable members of parliament that they have left their job as lawmakers, and now they are on the campaign piece digging for gold. Members of parliament that should make laws to regulate our environment, to protect our environment from these environmental terrorists, they are themselves doing it. Members of the NDC visibly doing galamsey. Look, we are not doing anything with regards to the fight against galamsey. President Mahama has underperformed abysmally. He has performed abysmally with regards to fight against galamsey. And look, I would mark him 1/10 with regards to the interventions he claimed to have put in place, because nothing is different from what Akufo-Addo was doing.
But don't you think it's too early to be?
It is not too early, because you have our water treatment plants being shut down under President Mahama. So how can we say it is too early when we have our water treatment plants being shut down? something that is going to transform our water into something drinkable, and something that we can bath, something that we can use to do all sort of as chores, that you have it shut down. Look, we should be worried as a nation because we are not getting it in a better form at all. Because we're promised that the LI 2462 will be revoked.
It has.
It has not been revoked. When?
Oh, it has.
It was led for revocation. It has not been removed. It has not been revoked.
Are you sure it hasn't been revoked?
And if it is revoked, why is it that they are giving out licenses for people to go and mine? They claim to have revoked or to have laid it before Parliament for revocation, but they are giving out licenses for people to go and mine. This is an insincere government. Let's be real.
Yeah, right. So when it comes to the NIMOS, you said you are not impressed so far with the measures they are putting in place to, fight galamsey.
And look, let me tell you, even with the NIMOS, the government are not allowing them to work. Last time we saw.
Why do you say so?
I say so because you have NIMOS official being attacked by tax who claim to have been sent by a member of parliament. And even the member of parliament was there himself with the tax to confront the NIMOS official because they are sacking galamseyers from doing galamsey on our land. So nothing is being done. Look, they are only playing with our minds. Let's not be deceived.
So what do you think the government can do with NIMOS to eradicate this issue of galamsey?
Look, I have said this several times, and I'm saying it again, that the fight against galamsey, it just has to do with the government having the will, the government putting it intentional, making it intentional, taking it as though this is something we must do. Because as it stands, they are only playing politics around it. They are not dealing with the real issue. They don't have the intention, and that is why we are seeing all this, what our water bodies being destroyed. So look, the government should sit up with regards to the fight against galamsey, because areas where people could fish, they can no longer do that. Where they could get clean water, we no longer have that. Our water bodies running with milky water. It's very sad.
It's very, very sad. And you know what's funny? It's actually funny when I actually... Okay, let me leave this for Miss Debbie. Miss Debbie, you're welcome. What can you say to this? I think we were here... was it somewhere last week when we read that coming from Justin Kodja that the NPP is losing, the NDC is losing the fight against galamsey, and just a year, and NDC has been in power for just a year, and they're already lambasting them, saying that they are not impressed with the measures they are putting in place, that what they are bringing on board, the strategies they are bringing on board was the same thing that Akufo-Addo did, and then they didn't see any results. A whole lot. Well, what can you say to this coming from a government that just left power, let's say a year ago? I think even yesterday they had a 1-year anniversary for their major defeats in the election. Yeah.
That's quite unfortunate on their side, because you've been in power for 8 years, you were not able to fight galamsey, and then a new government is on board. I think the best thing they should have done was support the government, because galamsey is a collective responsibility. If today our water is very, very clean, it goes to everybody. All of us will have a clean water to drink. And as much as you belong to a political party, NPP or NDC, you drink water to survive. The water doesn't know you as an NPP party faithful. It doesn't know you as an NDC party faithful. What it knows is that it's a surviving living water that needs to sort your hunger or your thirst to get in water. So that is it. You don't have to make this thing with politics, but unfortunately that is what we see every day. And because I want to be known as maybe me being faithful to my party, or maybe because I want to defend my party, although I know that this is basically wrong, I would do it because of politics. And that is why we are where we are today. If we should all see this fight like a terror or a threat to the country, not to a particular party, we will fight galamsey. We are not fighting it because we are buttressing it and the whole issue with politics, and that is why we cannot fight it. You came to power for 8 years. You burned excavators. You You said you've arrested people. That is what they said. We saw the case of Aisha 1. We saw how this issue came about, whether he has been jailed. No one has a clue about that. We saw a lot of things. We saw a lot of initiatives they brought on board, but still they failed in the fight against illegal mining. And then we have a new government that is in for close to a year, and they are starting with something right now. You started questioning them that they are not doing well. You should rather question yourself for being in power for 8 months and not doing nothing, absolutely nothing. So the best thing you can do is support them. Or maybe we brought this initiative on board. We are not able to succeed. You're also doing the same thing. Okay, fine. Why don't we do it this way? Oh, I think maybe I'm bringing this initiative on board. Can we collaborate together? Okay, fine. No, this wouldn't help. Oh, let's fix this thing here. Oh, let's do that. Perfect. Then we solve it. As I said, if today Galamsey is totally killed, and then we have clean water, we are not going to mention any political party's name. What we would do is, it's Ghana. If BBC is coming to cover this news, they wouldn't mention MPP, they wouldn't mention NDC. When they're talking about Galamsey, Ghana goes first, not any political party. So if the water is clean today and the news is being taken up there, it is Ghana that is on the map, not MPP party, not NDC party. So I feel like it's, how will I say, it's too early to start with politics again.
You think it's too early?
Yes, it's too early to start with that.
So better still, they should just do away with politics and then
they should just do away with politics
and then deal with the
yes,
issue.
And support. Do you know? I think before then, the minority leader some time ago, when the Galamsey became so tense that even in central region they were finding it difficult to get water. I saw the minority coming out to say that this Galamsey issue is not about politics, so they should rather come to. I was even surprised, but in a way I was happy because it is time we stop. I mean, when it has to do with issues that has to do with politics, you talk about that. I know that you are a communicator and you are supposed to talk on behalf of your people, but sometimes it's quiet. Shall I say quiet funny in a way when even the people at home know basically well that this is not an issue that needs to be politicized, and is being politicized. Because trust me, the innocent woman that dies because of Galamsey has nothing to do with the politics you are talking about. What she knows is she wants a purified water to drink, a water that is free from contamination. That is what she wants to drink, not a water that is being destroyed. And before we can fight before we can fight Galamsey, one, we need to do away with politics. Two, we need to start arresting ourselves. If I talk about ourselves, the politicians, the leaders, they need to start arresting themselves. That is if allegedly, because we've had cases where allegedly some politicians are involved in Galamsey, which they are involved.
Yes.
So I should move the alleged from there.
Yes, allegedly. Because when they attacked on Nemo's issue, or when the Nemo's officials were attacked, he was a member of parliament there, and he said he came under an instruction of Honorable Collins Dawuda. That was what he said.
But that
to the extent that he was punished in parliament. So you can't use allegedly.
How was he punished in parliament?
He was referred to a committee for an investigation. Do you understand?
Yeah.
But that is not similarly that is still not the case, because we have other people from other parties, from MPP, who are also. I'll still use alleged.
Because you don't have. Why is it that here you can use
alleged? Because you don't have facts.
No, I have facts. But wait.
Okay, what facts do you have?
Collins Dawuda, do you also have evidence?
I have evidence to the effect that a member of parliament said he sent him to come and disrupt the
I saw a video. I'm not trying to back any member of parliament here, but then I saw a video when he was being interviewed, and then he said the community members called him that this is what is going there. So he didn't specifically come there to show the Galamseyers.
Look, have you read the release by Erastus Asari Donko? You've not read that. Go and read that. You know what I'm talking about.
Erastus Asari Donko, when he's talking about Galamsey, it has to do with everything. It's not only about
this one was specifically for what happened.
They even mention other people's names.
Please. You are not.
That's your time.
That's your time. But you are not not making. You are not making. You are not making the arguments.
Well, how am I not making the arguments an argument? No.
Look, I want you to understand that. So what is Erastu said?
Why will you say no? So why will you say that with Collins Dowda I shouldn't use allegedly? But when it's
because there is fact to that effect.
I should use allegedly.
Because there is fact to the effect that Honorable Collins Dowda's issue was factual.
Please, I wouldn't buy into that.
You understand?
I wouldn't buy into that. Whether MPP or NDC, they are all into it. Allegedly, they are into it. Because why are we not able to fight corruption? I remember there been a lot of exposés on Galamsey, and all the time there were exposés, and you read into it constructively, you will get to know that politicians are behind Galamsey. Who are they? Are they ghosts? No, they are humans living among us. But all the time, these are the same people coming out to preach to us. It's just like a witch in a sheep cloth. In the evening you fly, in the morning you come in an angel cloth. So you, the human being, who exactly are you? What I'm trying to say is that I'm not showing whether Collins Dowda is involved in Galamsey, whether Collins Dowda is not involved in Galamsey. What I'm saying is that politicians are involved in Galamsey, and so we fight this canker. We need to fight among ourselves. We need to start arresting ourselves. Yes. That is so whether the person belongs to NPP, whether the person belongs to NDC, and we know that this person is involved in it, the person needs to face the law, because no one is above the law. If today the water should, you have money to travel outside and be, you don't have the money. But they've amassed wealth for themselves. They travel outside the country like the way you travel to your hometown. So if you want to follow these people, you will suffer the most. So what I'm basically saying is that any politicians involved in Galamsey needs to be curtailed. That person needs to be brought to book. Because all the expose I have read, in the way you see that there is a politician that have a hand in that. The Galamseyers on site, let's be sincere to ourselves. Do they have money in buying excavators?
No, they don't have.
Do they have money in buying that chemicals they use in digging our waters and our forests? They don't have it. It means there is somebody somewhere
financing it.
Yes, financing it. So who is that person? Right. That person is the person we need to run after, not the person on site. If you're arresting the person on site, you are doing a greater harm to the country. Because the person is in an air-conditioned office enjoying, and then you are on site working. So you have to follow that person and arrest that person. That is how we can fight it. So it's not about defending someone, using allegedly for someone, and not using allegedly for someone. It's not
so all politicians are actually involved.
Allegedly,
some
of them.
Ms. Abdul.
Okay, so look, you have not read the release from Erastus Ashari Donko, and so you don't have the appreciation of what I'm talking about.
All right.
You understand? And maybe you don't know about what happened with the NAMOS officials and the member of parliament. So what I'm saying is that this is factual argument. So if you use the word allegedly, you are scared. You are scared of saying the truth. Do you understand? And look,
maybe it could be she has not seen the evidence herself. Maybe it could be so.
Yeah, so that you don't have to argue with me.
And those people
I have seen the evidence, and I'm telling you.
And those people haven't even been taken to court or being charged for Galamsey.
He's currently facing a committee, and an investigation is carried out on this in that regard.
So with that regards, there's not a final say. So I think we
but with what Erastus Asare Donko posted, it is clear to us that the member of parliament came with tax.
But how factual is that?
I said go to Erastus Asare Donko's page. This has been discussed here, even on GhanaTalks Radio. We discussed it with Omari. Look, so what we are saying is that you cannot on one breath mention that the Akufo-Addo government came with policies or interventions with regard to the fight against Galamsey, and then on another breath you are telling us that we did nothing with regards to the fight against Galamsey. Burning excavators and stuff were nothing with regards to the fight against Galamsey. And look, that's what we are saying. If we did nothing, then it means these people are also doing nothing, because they've not done anything different from what we are doing. You understand what I'm saying? They've not done anything different from what we were doing. So you cannot try to tell me that it's been a year, nearly a year, and so we should calm down and allow the government to. I mean, what are you saying? A year is enough to stop Galamsey. You understand? This Honorable Sam George, he told us that the man who is being paid to be president of this country can end Galamsey within a week. You are talking about a year. That's too much.
But someone also
and look, when we're in office, let me tell you, when we're in office, we were told that Galamsey is not a national problem, and that those doing Galamsey are the NPP. So that's what Sami Jemfi told us. When we called on the minority then to come to the table for us to draw a plan as to how to fight Galamsey, they told us they don't want to get associated with Galamseyers. Those who are doing Galamsey, that's what he told us. And so you cannot today tell us that it is a national problem. We know it's a national problem. So stop politicizing it. You understand? Maybe you're not following the politics. I am following the politics and I know what I'm saying here. They made it look like NPP, when we are out of power, Galamsey will stop within a week. That's what they told us. Today we are out of power nearly a year and Galamsey is still there. And you are still asking for more time to do what? I mean, what was this? Oh.
Right.
Yes. So I think it would be premature to sit and state that you are expecting a government to use a year to fight Galamsey. Once you came into power, you couldn't do anything.
So look,
and I was still
are you independent?
She was very quiet.
Are you independent? Is she independent?
I didn't interject you, please.
I want to know if you are independent.
That is the same
because
reasoning
look,
of the Ghanaian out there.
If you promise me that you use 1 week to fight Galamsey, when you come into power, I expect you to use 1 week to fight Galamsey, and not to equate it to the number of years I stayed in power and couldn't stop it.
Well, calm down. So I think with this whole issue that when they come into power, they are going to use 1 week to fight Galamsey. I think when
it was a promise.
Yeah, I think when President John Dramani Mahama had the media engagement, he mentioned that he didn't know the harm is that bad. So I think with that, they've taken their words back that the issue of Galamsey, they can solve it in just 1 week. And I think some people have actually come to clarify that the person that made that issue spoke as an individual but not for the party. So I think you should go for that person but not for the party. It wasn't the party.
Yeah, that guy is a minister. He's part of cabinet.
Yeah, so he spoke as an
he's
individual.
He's a cabinet member.
It's been clarified by some of their communicators that person spoke as an individual but not for the party. So Sam George spoke for himself, but not for the party. He wasn't representing the party there to speak. So
I'm not sure you are answering questions, right? If you are answering, I would ask why Sami Jemfi said when we are out of power, Galamsey will stop, and still it is going on. Because it was assumed that NPP were those doing the Galamsey. You understand? Yes, that's how it was assumed. And today we have visibly members of the NDC doing Galamsey. They run into the bush and they take concession. And you expect Galamsey to end?
Right. We are just hoping that this government do something better to end Galamsey. Ms. Devi.
So as I was saying, it would be premature to state that a government comes into power and then use a year to
end Galamsey.
I think in our previous discussion, I made mention that any government that comes on board use the whole year to fix the mess of the other government. But that is the NPP that comes on board, taking after NDC. They use the 1 year to fix the mess of the NDC. And then in the coming years, they continue with their policies. And if it is NDC that comes on board, they use 1 year to fix the mess of the NPP. And then in the coming years, they use the rest of the years to fix whatever they want to do. And talking about Galamsey, do you know our issue in this country?
What is our issue?
I don't want to believe that, excuse me for using, I apologize for using this word, please. I don't want to believe that all politicians are unwise. I'm so sorry for that, using that word. The more reason why I'm using this word is because, so if I belongs to party ADB and you belongs to party BBB and then you did something wrong, you brought a policy that is wrong, and now sitting back, I realize that what you are doing is very, very wrong.
Very wrong.
This is not going to help us as a country. And I get the opportunity. Why should I hold you instead of correcting it and then working it and sorting it out for the people? Knowing fully well that if I do it, it's for the people and not for me as a political party and not for me as an individual. Because mind you, although we have these two parties and everybody wants to fight Galamsey, because of course when I fight Galamsey, I'll be giving that praise. Oh, Galamsey, so but I forget that aside that, it is for the betterment of the country. That is what we are saying. So if you feel like, well, when NDC was in opposition, they make claims. And as the president said, maybe they didn't really know what was on grounds, what was the lay down procedures before they were coming on board. And then you know the right thing. Why would you use that against them? Knowing fully well that this is the right thing, this is what they are supposed to do, and they didn't do it. Fine. If you didn't do it, that is your own wahala. Sort yourself out. And then carry the shame. We knowing the right thing, we will do the right thing, because today if we succeed, it's not going to us as a party, but it's going to us as a country. And as I said, if they'll be hailing us elsewhere, they're not going to hold you as a party, but they're going to hold Ghana as a whole.
As a whole.
So if you feel like a party came on board and they didn't do anything regarding Galamsey, and then you know the right thing and you're on board, do it. Do it. That is what we want. Do it. And do it for the people. You're not doing it for the party. You're doing it for the people, because, mind you, it is the people that voted you in power. They didn't vote for you because as a sole body. They vote for you for Ghana because you're representing the whole country. That is what we want you to do.
I think the Ghanaian people are wising up, and they are seeing the policies and then the things going on in the country. And I believe maybe in the next coming years, votes will change. And let's see if we are going to introduce a third force.
Who claim they didn't know the
actual
issue on ground. When the NPP called them to come for a discussion, they said they will not come. Do you understand? They said they will not come to the table for us to discuss how to fight Galamsey. So they cannot today tell us that they didn't understand what the issue was. They cannot say that.
Maybe they had to say that to save themselves or something.
this is just trying to shield themselves from accountability. They are trying to shield them. And look, we shouldn't be deceived, because an MP or a member of parliament or a former president of this country cannot just come and tell us that they didn't know what. He's been president of this country for over 4 years. And today he's continuing his last term. He's in power today. For the past 8 years he was in this country. He cannot tell us that he didn't know what the issue with Galamsey was. And you expect us to take that. I mean, we can't take that. Any right-thinking person will not take that. Because you were in this country for 8 years. And you cannot tell us that you didn't know the issue on grounds. And for that matter, we should do what? You didn't know the issue on grounds, and you go about telling people that we were those doing Galamsey. And you expect ordinary citizens and right-thinking citizens like us to take it. No.
Is this not similar to the former president putting his presidency on the line to fight Galamsey? Or I'm wrong?
Look, it is over that Akufo-Addo is not in power. So if Akufo-Addo has failed, we are dealing with Mahama now.
You're not being to the people. Okay, if you're saying that, you're not being fair to the people. No, I'm asking a question. Was it not similar to the former president making a statement that is putting his you know what it means for somebody to put his presidency on the line? It means you're putting like your whole life. Your whole life has to do with whatever measures, whatever policy, whatever steps you are taking has to do with you walking in a step of bringing an end to it. And you didn't do it. You don't have to be talking. You get it? You don't have to, because you failed woefully. That is it. And let's be sincere to ourselves.
It's getting heated right here.
But granted that Akufo-Addo failed in the fight against Galamsey, Akufo-Addo is no longer in power.
Yes.
And I remember President Mahama telling Akufo-Addo that you are in power, it is your duty to deal with the situation. So now President Mahama is in power. So let's stop the referencing and the equalization.
But you started
he has the duty to do the job.
So you started it first.
And considering the fact that we're told that it can be stopped in a week. Right. Like, so let's stop the equalization and referencing the former government. Let's deal with the issue. The issue is at hand with us. He has the constitutional duty. He has the supreme power to end it. You understand?
Yes.
So let's deal with the issue. Right? He should stop it. It's not about referencing if you are equalization, then it means you don't want the problem to solve.
So why did you
stop the equalization? Let us deal with the issue.
You are referencing, and I was trying to remind you.
I'm only telling you that he was in this country for over 8 years, and he knows the issue at hand. So he cannot come and tell us that he didn't understand the issue on ground.
Okay.
We cannot take that.
And he put his presidency on the line.
Look, we are not here. We are not here to gamble with the lives of Ghanaians.
Yes,
right?
That's very true.
We are not gambling with the lives of Ghanaians.
That's very true.
So what President Mahama said, it was just that he tried to gamble with our minds. He thinks we cannot think straight. And I remember he told us that we have short memories. Let's not fall for that. Let's not make people believe that we cannot think far.
Okay.
You know, it's funny when you hear, like, you hear someone talk and then you pick a point with your own personal understanding.
What do
are you trying to get what I'm saying?
What do you mean?
It's funny when if someone say you have short memory, what does the person mean? What is the person trying to say? That was directly to Ghanaians. He was trying to tell Ghanaians that, listen, I was in PA, I did this. You said, well, so we are bringing someone new on board. And then the person comes on board. And then all of a sudden, you're forgetting what the person has done for you. You're forgetting what I did. Okay, I was doing something, you feel like that wasn't enough. So you're bringing someone on board. So if the person is telling you that you have short memory, I don't know how you take it. And I don't know how you understand it.
Wow.
But then I believe that sometimes, well, it's okay.
It's okay. Some people are just objected to their own opinion, so they can understand it however they want to understand it. So he understands it in a different way. You also understand it in a different way. So that's fine. Right. With the issue of Galamsey, there we will speak about it. Keep talking about it. So we see a difference because it's life threatening to all of us, and it's harming the life of people and Ghanaian people. But I think the minority leader came out to say that we shouldn't politicize this issue. We should come together as a country and then deal with the issue.
And that's why we invited them to come to take when we're in power.
Don't worry.
But they refused. They insisted and they made politics out of it. And at the end of the day,
that was back then, right?
Yes.
That was back then.
They won because of
the
right now
they are in power, and I think they will call on you people as well. And then you will put your heads together. You put your heads together and then help fight Galamsey. It's for the country, not for the party.
If you've been hungry for power for over 8 years, we can understand. Okay. You understand. So we understood them when they were doing all that. They needed just power.
All right.
We'll help them.
All right. Let's dive into our news items for this morning. Parliament approves 5.3 billion Ghana cedis for Ministry of Roads for 2026. So Parliament has approved a total allocation of 5.3 billion Ghana cedis to the Ministry of Roads and Highways for the 2026 financial year, a budget expected to support ongoing and new road infrastructure works across the country. So the approval follows debate on the state of Ghana's roads, stalled projects, contractual debt and delayed payment to contractors, and there have been some public concerns raised with regards to this, and they say that would this budget lead to a visible improvement or repeat unfulfilled promises? How will government ensure timely release of funds to prevent abandoned projects, and will contract awards follow transparency and competitive procurement rules? So these are some of the public concern that has to do with the allocation of the money to the Ministry of Roads to construct the roads. I mean, we've heard stories that monies have been allocated to the Ministry of Roads to construct a road or do a particular bridge, and at the end we get to hear that that money was not even given to the constructors, and so a whole lot of issue. How sure, or what can we do as a country to make sure that this particular issues do not repeat itself again?
Okay, thank you very much. So with the issue of roads, when I'm speaking on the state of our roads, I usually want to be analytical. I usually want to be, straightforward, because a country like Ghana and the nature of our roads, sometimes it is very bad that you have contractor, being contracted to work on a project, and at the end of the day, what you get cannot even take you up to 5 years. It is bad. You construct a road, and in the next 2 years or 3 years, you have potholes all over the road. That's really, really bad. And so this all points to the fact that we have some elements of corruption in how we award our roads. And so government, I don't know whether committees should be set up to, look into the matter and stuff like that. And I'm sure there are committees already. So it's really bad. We must change our attitude as Ghanaians.
As Ghanaians.
Yes. So that we would, at the end of the day, have better roads, and it is going to help all of us as a nation. And look, I remember when Akufo-Addo was given his, I think, was it his last State of Nation address or so? He pointed to the fact that, and we must give credit to Akufo-Addo, because in his tenure of office, he did massively in terms of roads infrastructure, right? Yes.
Can you outline some of the roads he?
Yes. During his tenure, he gave us about, 12,000 plus kilometers of new roads being constructed, as against 4,000 under President Mahama #1. So it points to the fact that he took keen interest in construction of roads and stuff. So we are saying that this government should, do all that they can. If they cannot perform beyond 12,000 kilometers of new roads, then they should at least get closer, because we must not retrogress, right?
Yeah.
In terms of development. So I like the fact that allocations has been made and approval has been given by Parliament. What we want to see now, it is execution.
Yes, execution.
Proper execution. Very to that
true.
effect, so that we will not have these rules that cannot take us up to a year or 2 years. And then you would have to see potholes all over.
Yeah.
I mean, I visited Cote d'Ivoire and I've said it on countless times. The roads in Abidjan, they were very, very good. Very good. You hardly see potholes on the road. They were very good, super good, I tell you. So let's try as much as we can. Cote d'Ivoire is an African country. They have they have better roads, and we are also Africans. We should have better roads too. I mean, there's nothing that stops Africa from developing. So it's important we emphasize on the execution. That has always been our problem. To execute contract in the way in which it is awarded has been the issue, and how our funds are allocated for those projects. And then the supervision. I mean, some contracted, you just give them a job to do. You award a contract to the person, and when you don't give the person strict supervision, the person will end up doing shoddy job for you.
Yeah.
So we should encourage on that, and then we should make sure that strict supervision, we take keen interest in supervision, so that we get the best out of whatever contract we award.
Right.
Yes.
Looking at the monies that are being allocated to our roads, do you think we are really seeing value for our monies?
Over the years, considering the fact that a road will be constructed and in the next 2-3 years there are potholes all over, we cannot say that there is value for money, because we expect that a road should take at least 10 years lifespan. Then we would have to do some patches on it again. But as it stands, even though considerably we have done well, but I think we need more. We should do more.
Right. Ms. Debbie, how are we going to ensure that this time around there's strong supervision and transparency when it comes to the allocation of money to contractors to build our roads?
Strong supervision and knowledge.
Yeah.
I think it will be very difficult if the governments will have to be moving from places to places, ensuring that these people are working properly, and even the money given to them are using for its intended purposes. Because we have some constructors that will end up dividing the money into 3, and even end up stealing some of the items that are used in constructing the roads, and still tell you that they are not up to. And that is why sometimes they allocate money for a project, and then the minister will still come back and tell you that, this money that has been allocated for this project is not up to, so we need to allocate another money. So to prevent all this, I feel like if only it can be digitalized, where maybe you can be in your office and the monitor whatsoever is going on the street.
Building the roads.
Yes, I can't remember some time ago. I don't know. I think a minister brought this up that we should construct our roads in a way that it can be monitored. It can be monitored from the office. The more reason why I'm saying this is that even the person you are asking to go and supervise the people constructing the road in a way might be corrupt. You have no idea, because a lot of supervisors may get on ground and they may not send the right information to their office, to the headquarters. They won't send that. Immediately you get some money into your pocket, that is it. And when it has to do with government projects, because they know that you are going to get something out of it. And so we don't see fairness in what we do. So I feel like if in a way that supervision and monitoring, that is very, very key, is very, very crucial. But if we can find a way of monitoring these people, that it wouldn't have to do it. I know that this is not going to be possible. Let me just say it. That is, wouldn't have to do with human beings going around to monitor these people. I don't know how possible
obviously they are going to be influenced too.
They are going to be influenced. I don't know how we are going to execute this. I don't know, but if it will be possible, that we'll be doing that, because we don't trust ourselves. That is it. We don't trust ourselves, and it's a pity, because we construct road, and within a few years the road is started and everything is bad. Don't forget that good roads boost trade. Yeah. And that is why we have a lot skyrocketed of prices of goods and services. Most of these produce are coming far from the north and the other side. Yeah. And you have to transport it all the way from the north to Accra, and the roads are very bad. When the road, the produce or the food stuff they are bringing to Accra manage to get here, the price they are going to mention to you, you might collapse. You will collapse because looking at the stretch of the road and how bad it is, the driver is going to charge you more than expected. And because you don't want to also run at loss as a trader, you will have to increase the price, and it all affects us. So imagine the roads are very good. You take like a second to get to where you want to get to your destination. There wouldn't be a problem with all what we are facing today. So when there is strict supervision and monitoring, that will work. And the road should be they should award contract to contractors that are into the work, contractors that they believe can construct the road very, very well, contractors that can be held accountable if in case of incasity. It doesn't just award contract to any contractors, which I know they do their findings before they give out the contract to them. And as well, they should pay the contractors on time. You know, some of this contract, sometimes they allow you to use your money, and then the government comes in to pay you later. Sometimes they give you part payment, you are done with it, and then they complete the payments or whatever money they are supposed to give to you. So they should pay them on time. Most of the times when you go to interview these contractors, they'll be like, and so an
example is it the Pokwase or Fanko Road, where we had a whole lot of story that the previous government did this, the money didn't come and then all of that. So due to that, they had to stop working on the road.
You see all that. Yeah. So they should be paid on time. And you see, sometimes the government allocate the money, but Nipanas cannot continue. And some of the person will disburse that money. Before the money will get to the contractor, not just say, I check 10 times. Yeah. You get it. So I feel like we should just be. I just wish we all have one mindset of developing this country. We wouldn't have suffered this much, because when we go back, I wasn't born when Kwame Nkrumah was a president, but motorway interchange. We are still using it up till now. Look at that. That man was able to envision that a day will come, the population of Ghana will double, and so he constructed it with the mindset of posterity, like 1,000 years to come, and then he did it, and now posterity are enjoying it and they are praising him, even though they didn't come to meet him. Right. So if you are constructing road, that should be the mindset. It shouldn't be a mindset of 2 to 3. And then another one I would like to add, we should find a way to add other means like railway and other, because transport is not way too much. And in a way, I would say a hard because every route I give vehicle that our railway is not really working. So if we can fix that in addition to the road, I think that would be very, very good.
That would be very good. So the plan reportedly aims to generate about 500,000 direct and indirect jobs, but the minority side, which is obviously represented by the NPP in Parliament, raised alarm over the absence of a legally constituted board for the road fund. They argue this lack of proper oversight could lead to delays in payment to contractors and delay project delivery. So this is coming from the minority side, that the lack of or the absence of a legally constituted board for the road fund could cause mayhem or even trouble in terms of payment and then all of that. Mr. Abdul, what can you say to that? This is coming from your people. This is what they say.
That's the position of the minority.
Yeah.
When you don't have a legally constituted board, what it means is that discretion would take the day, and that sometimes would have legal consequences. So it is proper that maybe there should be a legally constituted board to manage, disbursement of funds and stuff, so that at the end of the day we will not have, people taking monies illegally, people taking money without delivering and stuff like that. So that we would also have, the locals to deal with these cases in court, and issue of breaches and stuff.
Yeah. So meaning that if there's a breach of agreement or contract, the constructor or whoever that was involved in the transaction is not going to go scot-free. But is that going to improve transparency?
Yeah, sure, definitely it will, because the board will take keen interest in whatever the contractor do, and by so doing, you would have to account to the board the funds that has been raised to you, how you have used the funds, and then you contrast that with what has been done on the road to see whether there's that sort of correlation. You understand?
Yes.
Because if I release, let's say, about $100 million to you,
yes,
to construct a project, and then what I see is not even up to $50 million,
or it's not even up to standard.
Yes.
Right.
So the board will take keen interest in that, and ensure that contracted deliver on their mandate.
Well, this particular initiative is actually supposed to bring 500,000 direct and indirect jobs to the people. Do you think that is actually true, or you think that these people have already found their people to work with, or are we capable enough to handle such a task?
But you see, it is laughable that for someone who promised us 133 ships is coming to give us unstable jobs of 500,000. In their 2026 budget.
How is it unstable?
They force, if I give you a contract,
yes,
you employ people to work on it.
Yes.
After the contract, what
it's
happens?
over.
This is contractual agreement.
Yeah, it ends there.
After that, you go home, right? So you people told us that you are going to create 800,000 jobs for the year 2026. Meanwhile, that 800,000 job is made up of these unstable jobs, and over 500 of them is going to come from the construction side.
Right.
That means that it's a deception. That's not what you promised Ghanaians. And I have said this, that the 133 ships is enough to take care of the Ghanaian population that is looking for job. I tell you, 133 ships. This was a deception, clear deception. That is why they are unable to implement the 133 ships. And so now they want to entice Ghanaians with 500,000 unstable jobs.
Direct and indirect jobs.
Look. Unstable. I call it unstable jobs.
Unstable jobs.
After your contract, you are gone. You will not have job, and you will come to the job market again looking for job. That's not stable job.
That's not a stable job, Miss Debbie.
Yeah. So, well, in a way, as you give them something to do, but as we are all saying, it wouldn't be that stable.
Yeah.
So it's just like you being a contract or having a contract with someone is for a period of time. If it is 2 months, it's 2 months. If it is 3 months, it's 3 months. And so long as that 3 months ends, then it means that only the panel contract in CAC. So what next? I think that is what we should ask ourselves. What next after that? So in a way, this is a temporal something. When you say it's going to create jobs, in a way, for me, I feel like it doesn't really sit well, because it's something that is very temporal. And we're talking about work, employing somebody. It should be something that should be permanent. Until the person feel like my brain.
But you can't be at one place for a long time.
Oh yes, I want to change. That is what I'm saying. I want to change, or maybe I want to go somewhere, or I want to change my environment, or maybe I want to upgrade myself, and then you leave. That should be personal decision for that person. But giving the person a short-term employment with the construction side there, yes, without the but with the legally constituted board, I feel like they are going to check for oversight and all that, and ensure that everything they are doing is right, and everything they are doing is on point. So I feel in a way,
yeah,
it will help in a way.
It will help in a way. In a way,
to prevent leakages,
employment.
As well.
Right. Good. So, lastly, as citizens of the country, what should be our expectation for this particular project when it comes to the roads or whatsoever?
We expect nothing but the best.
Nothing but the best.
We expect that they deliver on the mandate. We expect that And the president should take keen interest in some of the roads in the northeast region, especially within Yagbakuboro vicinity. So there are some roads there that need serious attention. People are dying on them. The president should take keen interest in that. And the road that links, Yagbakuboro constituency to the constituency of Wali Wali, that can, expand our, trade routes, so that we'll be able to, use those roads to facilitate trading activities. There are a lot of roads there and bridges that need serious attention. So I admonish and I call on the government to take keen interest in that and ensure the people of Yagbakuboro gets a better share of the national cake. Of the national cake. That means that the roads over there are extremely very, very, to some extent. To some if not for the coming into office of Honorable Mustafa Yusuf, there was no single tarred road in the constituency. Oh, my bad. I tell you. And he has demonstrated that he's the man for the job. He can do it because he has brought tar road and he has constructed a good kilometers of road that now you can move from a community like Yagba to Kubori without having dust on your dresses. Yeah, so we feel proud of him, and we will continue to give him mandate to serve us as our member of parliament. He's done very good so far. Right. Ms. Debbie, well, what would you say your expectations should be? Because we don't want a case whereby we get to see that the money that has been allocated and then the project has been abandoned. There's lack of transparency. We don't know how the money was used. Bringing public accounts committee to come in. Yes. All of this. Right. So what we want to see is, first of all, we want to see quality roads. Roads that are of high quality. Roads that will not wear out after a year or two. That is what we want to see. And secondly, the contract should be awarded to the right contractors. Not everybody is a contractor. It should be awarded to the right contractor. And the third one has to do with ensuring that the money is being disbursed on time, the contractor gets paid on time. This should come with transparency. And any contractor that is being paid and the work is not done as is expected should be held accountable as well. And trust me, before this money gets, I know it's going to pass through, hands. You don't just go straight to the contractor and give the money to them. Yeah. It's passed through hands. Whoever that money goes to before it gets to the contractor, whatever may come out, everybody needs to answer a question. For that is also very, very necessary. And one appeal I will make is, I've already made it and I'll still emphasize on it. I think we have to add something else to it. Then that has to do with the railway. It will help us. People are making good use of railway. In other countries, in other South African countries. They are making good use of it, seriously. Were we not here when someone said they were bringing Skytrain? What happened? It's still in the sky. It's yet to drop. I'm yet to see that. That money to Ashiegu. Mr. Abdul, we were here when some people said they were bringing Skytrain. Where is it? What happened? What happened to the Skytrain? Is it still in the sky, as Ms. Debbie said? Yeah, there's a case in court with regards to that. Yes. And I think I would wait on the determination of the court before I can make any comments on it. But do you think right here in our country we can bring Skytrain? Even common train on our railway safe. It's possible. They are stealing the metals. They are not able to sustain. And they are stealing the metals. Skytrain. It's possible. You think it's possible? Yes, what makes you think it's possible? It's happened in different jurisdictions. So, learning from people and imitating people, we can also improve. We can improve. Yeah. Learning from people, imitating from people is not bad, but I think you are supposed to look at your capability. I'm not saying we are not capable. We are not capable to. But you should look at the system you find yourself in first, and the people in the system as well. In the system before you go for that. You don't bring out a policy because you want to win the favor of people and then end up messing everything. No, you should bring out a policy because you want to make it and make it happen. You see, we were very happy because I feel like I was very excited. When it's happened like that too, these drivers, I'm on fire in the agrobiome. Because if I know there is a tray, why will I waste my time in a long queue before getting to work? I probably say tray me no more. Make it a many biano me drew.
and it's way faster than vehicles.
Right.
So we should do that. SkyTrain is kind of shaky. There is nothing we can do about that. But they said we are focusing on the future, and this is the future. So what are we doing?
Yeah.
We should add more spice to the soup and then make it.
So that issue is in court, as Ms. Abdul said. So any new development on that particular case, we'll bring it to you. Right. Let's move on to our next topic. SIM card re-registration in 2026. Is it necessary at all? So the Communications Ministry has announced that Ghana will undertake a new nationwide SIM card registration exercise in the first quarter of 2026. The goal, according to government, is to improve digital security, clean up the subscriber database, and integrate a more advanced verification system. But the announcement has sparked mixed reactions as many citizens still recall the long queues, system failures, and public frustration that characterized the previous exercise. So now the big question is, what happened to the previous registration? Because I remember that particular day, I woke up at dawn, went to form queue at MTN office, and it goes to my turn. They say system failure, network natical, ISA, and now some George has had baby or say a for like what is all this? Haven't they even wasted our time, our energy, and even government money? Is it really necessary, Mr. Abdul? And now you think this is also another political gimmick?
You see, I don't know why. Look, I don't know why Honorable Sam George he's one minister that is so busy for, nothing. One minister that has failed in almost all the fight he has undertaken or he undertook since they came into office.
Oh, are you sure?
Yes, one minister that.
Which fight?
Look, I don't know why he's so unstable.
Because of prayer now.
Yes, I don't know why. Look, this honorable member told us that he's going to fight for us for a price reduction in regards to DSTV. He told us that they didn't, or he was not looking for value for money. Rather, he was looking for decrease in prices. He was emphatic on that, right? And at the end of the day, what did we see? He failed. DSTV won that fight because they didn't decrease prices. What they only gave us was value for money. Sam George failed in that regard. He now comes that after that incident, he came around that he was going to fight for a price reduction with regards to our data. Right.
Yes.
He started that fight with MTN too.
Oh yes. And
at the end of the day, MTN won that fight too. Right. Do you know why I say this? I said it because look, the only thing MTN did was to restore. I think it was 299 cedis data or so. Yes, that was the only thing they restored. And today, as we speak, if you buy 1 gigabyte of data, it will not take you up to 30 minutes. If it does that, then there's divine intervention. Because, and before, initially, you could use 1 gig data for almost a day. From morning to evening, 1 gig data. Today, 1 gig data cannot take you for even 30 minutes. Meanwhile, Sam George claimed he has fought for us and that MTN has, restored back some of their services. And look, let me tell you, nearly 20% or less than 20% of Ghanaians are using that data. That 299 series data. We the ordinary citizens, the liberal or the normal Ghanaians, we don't use that data. I can't even remember the time I bought data with 200 cedis. I don't do that. And I know a lot of people don't do that. Right? So, Honorable Sam George has failed in almost all the fight he undertook. I don't know why he's so unstable. He wants to be the only minister that will not perform. Look, I support this SIM registration.
You support it?
Because, one, I have done mobile money before. And I know how people are able to, trick people to get money from them.
Yeah.
How they are able to use that kind of fraud tactics to steal people's money from MTN. But I think that the form in which Sam George is seeking is not going to help. Because re-registration without taking other measures will not help. Other measures like, one, let's ensure that if you are a Ghanaian, you should have 1 SIM.
You should have 1 SIM.
Yes.
Just one.
Just one. because I don't know why you need 2 SIMs, right? And this is where the issue of fraud comes in, because someone will be using different SIM cards. That when he commits a crime with one SIM, you'll be unable to locate him. You'll be unable to identify who commits that crime. So our system should be strengthened. That's one part of it. Our system should be strengthened, said that you have every data of whoever is using a SIM card. Every data, you have the person. And if you don't give that room for people to operate with so many SIM cards, when there's a crime, you'll be able to trace, to know where this SIM is coming from, right? And look, there should be a rigid system that people cannot discard their SIM and go for another SIM just like that. If you commit a crime with a SIM, the system should renew that same SIM for you, so that you will not go and you be using different SIM. Then you see people, someone will just use his Ghana card or if the person will not even use Ghana card, different SIM. We have people that sells registered SIM. They will just come and buy it, use it to commit crime. Then they will just remove the SIM and discard it. Go and buy another SIM. That's how people are doing, right? So we are saying that the way and manner some judge is going about it is really not going to solve the problem, right? I support re-registration, but it should be done such that people cannot have the freedom to use so many SIM cards, so they can commit crimes and we will not be able to locate them or trace that crimes. Right. And the only challenge with that is going to be that if you restrict people from using so many SIM cards, what it means is that we would have to close down some of our services, right? Or you allow all the services to work, but if you want to go for MTN, then you'll be using MTN. If you want to go for Tigo, you'll be using Tigo. If you want to go for Vodafone, then you'll be using Vodafone. They should not allow anybody to use more than 2 SIM cards, so that when there's a crime, you'll be able to trace it, right? Yeah. So this is what I think. But to tell us to come and re-register is not really going to solve the problem. And some judge failed to even give credit to the fact that there was biometric system that seeks to solve the issue of verification and stuff. He just made it look like Oslo Usu, the former minister, did nothing. That man is too political. I don't know why.
Ms. Debbie, do you think it's really necessary for us to go for a re-registration, or you see it as a political or something again?
It is not. Every government that comes on board, why? We registered SIMs. I think the other time I told you we used to have voters ID, but then voters ID. When that was when the previous government came on board. Then we had they made us register another voters ID. So I now have the 2 IDs there. The old one that has to do with red something with a bar, and then currency that is blue. I have the 2, and then Ghana card, and then we got that too. So, and I think some time ago, everybody has to re-register your SIM with the Ghana card.
Yes.
We have to link it to, and that has to do with a lot, people queuing and a whole lot. And now you are bringing re-register again. And I feel like when we re-register SIM, it's for a whole lot. It's to prevent these scammers from calling you, and it's calling and then telling you your name. Someone can just call you and then call your name. Someone you don't know, no number, telling you the amount of money in your account, and still telling you that they've deposited amount in your account, send it back. Immediately the person end that call, you try calling the person back, they'll tell you the number doesn't exist. How do they do it? That are things we need to prevent from happening. Because if you're taking my data, it means it should be confidential. If you go and register SIM, they take a lot of data, your name, your what's the name, even someone to take after you, the
next of kin.
They ask all those things that needs to be personal, known to you personally, but you need to provide it because they need that in processing whatever they need to give to you. They need that data. So if a scammer should call you and call your name and tell you things that are known to you, how was that data linked? That is what we should prevent.
And
so when we keep re-registering SIM, it's to prevent all this things. So when we keep registering, and we are not
we are still seeing the same problem.
So what is the essence?
Because
so when the re-registration,
because over for Ghana card, over check the number of SIM that is linked to that Ghana card, and you see that it's linked to almost about a whole lot of people,
numbers, yeah.
a whole lot of people, and it's so bad. I mean, what is annoying me is the queue that we are going to.
Oh yes,
form.
the queue.
What do you think? There's a better approach? Maybe we can do it digitally that we can prevent the queue, Mr. Abdul. Because the queue there.
Well, this is if we must do it, then maybe it should be in the interest of the state and every Ghanaian. So if the honorable member thinks we should do it, I mean, we just have to bear the stress.
But for you personally, are you ready to do the registration again?
If it is to serve the purpose and in advancement of the fight against cyber crimes and fraud, I think we should. But as I have stated, the form in which it is coming is my problem.
Is your problem?
Yes, because we should not allow people to use their Ghana card to have so many numbers.
Because Obi Ghana card or Simbe 5.
Yes.
Or the Nina or the Ghana card number
registered. The person doesn't know that his Ghana card is linked to 5 SIM.
No, but like as an individual, you have about like 5 numbers, and then you have to link all of them to your Ghana card.
That is what you're saying.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And some people don't even know at all that their Ghana card is linked to.
So you see, all of this is it points to the fact that there's a system weakness, right? So if we are able to ensure that our security system is tight, said that Ghana cards are issued to every Ghanaian, then you pass a resolution that each and every Ghanaian is entitled to just one SIM.
One SIM.
Right. Just one SIM. You can choose any network you want, but you must have just one SIM. Then they deactivate all the SIMs that are linked, 2 SIMs that are linked to Ghana card. So if this registration is going to be done, you come and then you provide the number that you want to be using. Then at the end of the day, they will deactivate all other SIMs that are extra SIM in addition to the existing SIM or the SIM that each Ghana card has provided to be using, right? So that we will not have the issue of not being able to trace crimes when they occur, right? Well, if you have one SIM, as I've stated, you have one SIM and you use it to commit a crime, the government should be able to trace that SIM card.
Right.
They should be able to trace it. And if your SIM got missing or something like that, they should renew that same SIM for you, not to create another. You should use that same SIM. They should not create another one for you, so that you go and be creating problems with the other SIMs.
With the other SIMs. Miss Debbie, how are we going to ensure that this time around our data is secured?
That has to do with a lot. If our data needs to be secure, then there need to be measures to ensure that they are well secure. Because when they take the data, who does it go to? Those telecom providers like the MTN and stuff. So let's take MTN for instance. I would say 90% of people in Ghana use MTN. Basically, I use MTN because other what's the name? Other SIMs like Voda and Tigo is now they are seeing if they will merge Tigo
with Telecel.
With Telecel.
Another one from Sam George.
It has been okay.
Merging Telecel with Tigo. So I think they have to look it from there. Because if MTN, someone can call you and tell you that I'm calling from MTN office, or you're there with data, you get it. And sometimes you buy certain things from them, or you want to do something, and then they ask you for your data. So you're the one taking our data. You need to secure our data and ensure that it's not being leaked. And how are we going to do this? It has to start from them. So I feel like why don't we digitalize it and then find a way of securing it so it doesn't get linked. And sometimes I feel like it's an insider because no one can leak your data.
Yeah.
If it's not an insider, how do you get that data? So if you're trying to say that it's not an insider, then in a way you're trying to say that those companies that get the data have stronger gadgets that they can access our data, which also means that maybe the system we are using is too weak. So then we need to upgrade it. If that is the case, then we need to upgrade our system and ensure that our security is very tight.
It's very tight.
And so they don't have like upper hand in getting those information. Because trust me, immediately that person gets information, automatically the person knows everything about it.
Knows everything.
And the person knows how to go about it And then because trust me, these people are very crafty, very very crafty. And as much as we have cyber security personnel and they're also trying their best, don't forget that those criminals are also into all that. They're also into that, and they're upgrading themselves each and every day. So we also need to upgrade ourselves and then ensure that, because looking at our population, as our population is very huge, and so we should find a way of ensuring that these data are very secured. And I think a way to, can we also get a system where maybe if someone is dead and the SIM of the person is no longer in use, can they find a way of blocking the SIM? Because sometimes we have other people using...
I think when your SIM card is idle for more than 6 months or something, they take it off. They take it off from the
It's
system.
no more active.
Yeah, it's no longer active.
Because we have some people who use, some family members that will use the SIM for other purposes without your knowing. So if there can be a system that can track that and ensure that so long as the person is no more alive, so what is the essence of the SIM card? It should be deactivated.
It should be deactivated. So the SIM card re-registration is there.
For me, it's not necessary.
You will queue again. But I'm hoping, I'm just praying that if maybe there's a way they can do it digitally, then you all be in the comfort of your home and then you do it without going to form the queue, system failure, and that frustration. Because I don't believe anyone is ready at all.
The biometric is very important. You can't do it digital.
Oh, yeah, Simon. People are looking for money. We said they should go and form queue and go and do registration. Right, moving on to our last topic. Calls to abolish OSP intensify after Martin Kpebu's arrest. So the Office of the Special Prosecutor is at the center of a heated national debate after the detention of private legal practitioner Martin Kpebu on 3rd December 2025. So the arrest has sparked renewed calls, including from the leadership of Parliament, for the OSP to be abolished, triggering worries about the independence of Ghana's anti-corruption architecture. What do you make of the whole Buhara with Martin Kpebu and OSP? Do you think it was right for the OSP to even detain him in the first place?
Okay, so starting with whether or not he was right for the detention, I believe the OSP, acted ultra virus. He acted out of his power. Because basically, the office was created to deal with corruption and its related activities. So if the OSP thinks that someone has said something that is derogatory or something that is defamatory, then he knows where to go. He should have resorted to court instead of detaining him. Because the Office of the Special Prosecutor, they derives their power from the Attorney General's office. That does not include civil cases like defamation. You are only there to prosecute, corruption and corruption-related activities. So the OSP acted out of his jurisdiction. He didn't have jurisdiction to arrest Martin Kpebu. Not at all. Because if you think that someone says something that defames you, the right thing to do is to sue the person in court. Right. So I think the OSP acted out of his jurisdiction. But you see, considering the fact that the OSP gave lawyer Martin Kpebu a bail condition, right? He gave him a bail condition, and this has been the bone of contention, because a lot of people now come to realize that bail condition should not be used as a form of punishment. That is what the OSP sought to do. He sought to punish lawyer Martin Kpebu with the bail condition, but this has exposed the hypocrisy of Ghanaians to the extent that this is something that has been happening in this country for a very long time against the opposition members, the former appointees of the Eswal administration. And it has never been discussed in Parliament. Nobody has ever said anything with regards to the conduct of Yoko, the conduct of OSP, the conduct of BNI. Nobody has ever said anything with regards to that. But today, because it has happened to lawyer Martin Kpebu, who is an associate of the NDC government, you see it being discussed in Parliament as though it is some sort of a novel situation. Meanwhile, no, this has been in this country. It has happened to a lot of the appointees of the Nanadu government, but nobody said anything. So you see, it simply points to the fact that we are being hypocritical, right? If you want to see something done based on our laws, and then something is being done contrary to that, we should have the boldness to speak against it, regardless of whether we are in power or not. We know the NDC in power, so because they are in power with massive victory, we cannot even complain. When you complain, they will turn a deaf ear. But as soon as it happens to someone who is associated with their government, you see them crying foul all over. That's not the right thing to do. We know it is wrong. That's all right. But when it happens to a member of the SWAT administration, you have to condemn it.
You have to condemn.
It is not now that you think that because it has happened to Martin Kebu, it is wrong. It has always been wrong. And look, our case law buttress on that point. And the same man called Martin Kebu, he went to court to challenge the bail condition that was given to someone, which is so excessive. And the court held that, look, the bail condition should not be used as a form of punishment. It should not be used to punish the one in detention, right? Before even granting the person bail. So look, we are saying that let's do what is right, right? It is not now that the NDC, they cannot disregard the law more than the NPP. And when it comes to upholding the principles of the constitution and making a lawful orders, the NPP can do it even better than we have proven to be those that can be democratic better than the NDC. You understand?
Yeah.
And I make an example. Look at Nanadu, for instance. A lot of damning things were said against Nanadu. Even lawyer Martin Kwebu, who is now being arrested, he said more damning things about Akufo-Addo than this. But Akufo-Addo had the heart. In the spirit of democracy, in the spirit of freedom of speech, he allowed all of that to pass. Martin Kwebu has never been arrested for the past 8 years. But we can refer to a lot of things that were said by lawyer Martin Kwebu. You OSP, who is not even up to the Attorney General, OSP, who is not up to the President, you cannot take a simple word incompetent. I mean, what is this? So we are saying that, look, let's uphold the principles of democratic governance. Freedom of speech is so dear, right, in ensuring the deepening of our democracy. So we cannot jeopardize the freedom of speech because someone is being, emotional. You are holding a public office and you cannot take criticisms. That's not how it works. Look, Akufo-Addo, look, they described Akufo-Addo's government, and when they won power, they told us that they have gained second independence, the country is now, free, there's freedom in the country. But look, people cannot talk. If you talk, they will come and arrest you. Look at Obama Pokwasi, drawing the attention of the police service to an incident that he thinks is not right, and at the end of the day, you arrest him and detain him, and then you are asking for a bail condition. What is this? It is very sad. And now that it has happened to lawyer Martin Kwebu, you see them crying foul all over. Oh, yeah. I mean, what is this? Let's not be hypocritical. The government must act based on the law, right? And not to be, being selective, administering justice selectively. That's not fair.
Right. So, are you also of the view that
I think the office, I think the office should be maintained. However, if the office is not delivering, then we should scrap it. But in the first instance,
it should be maintained.
Yes, they should maintain the office. But for OSP, they should sack him immediately. That man is incompetent, right? He's very, very incompetent.
He's a very good lawyer too.
Yes, he's a very good lawyer, but incompetent. Yes, because this man failed Nanadu. To even think that Nanadu, who appointed you failed him, right? And today, as we speak, you are failing President Mahama too, because Akufo-Addo appointed you for a purpose.
Yes.
Right, to execute or to deal with corruption and its related activities. You were unable to do that to members of his regime when he was in power. The only thing you did was, try to do post-regime accountability against former President Mahama's appointee. And then as soon as the government of Nanadu left office, then you now turn your eyes to members of the Akufo-Addo administration again, trying to portray to the Ghanaian people that you are really, in for the job. But what I see is a man who is inconsistent, a man who is not principled, a man who is only trying to protect his office or protect his stomach. he's interested in, protecting his personal interest instead of fighting for the people of Ghana. And I think he should be sacked immediately. He's incompetent. He's not fit for the job.
Miss Debbie, do you think they should reform the office? Because Mama Yariga said they should scrub it. But critics and some
it should be dissolved immediately.
It should be
what
dissolved.
No. There is no need for reform. We've already tested him. We've known him, and I think it's the testing has been enough. So where it has gotten to, the best we need to do is to dissolve the OSP, because I believe the OSP was created for the purpose, and that purpose was to prosecute corruption and corruption-related cases. And that is not what you do. You've been appointed for how many years now? How many people were you able to prosecute? Zero. It was later when people were calling on the OSP that, hey, OSP, what's your watch show? When Attorney General was giving pressure. That was when we realized that this man came up, and even the people he declared a fugitive, I could see say, So I believe that since we have OSP, and I feel like the OSP, IOCO and SHRAJ, these three bodies are all bodies that are there to investigate corruption and corruption cases. So if OSP is not delivering on purpose, then why not we scrub it? Because we already have 3 offices and all our source of account.
The Attorney General's office.
Yes, and we are not seeing top. So if this is not provided the needed result we want, then we should scrub. From the start, I told you that President Mahama retaining the office of the OSP was the biggest mistake he did. I said it that he should have maintained IGP John Dampari and then sack OSP. Seriously. Because Dampari, I'll be sincere, Dampari was he was good for me. He was good. I wouldn't say the current IGP is not good, but looking at his work, that man.
You will not be wrong to say that.
Because I think we're not hearing prophecy.
Oh no, that is not prophecy. But now, even from the beginning of the year, but IGP Anka was stopping at that time now. So taking off that man was the mistake they did, and keeping OSP. You cannot be in office for 8 years and not prosecuting anyone. Are you trying to tell me that people have not looted from the state? We've not had people who are involved in corruption cases. That is a big lie. So reforming it is just a waste of money, resources, and time. It should be dissolved. Yes, it should be with immediate effect.
Yes, so I have taken a dissenting view to the effect that Kisi Ejeben hasn't been able to prosecute anybody. Because of that, we should dissolve it. The human being is the one that is incompetent, not the office. So it's possible that if we get somebody to man the office, the person might deliver or may deliver. So what I think should be done is to sack the current special prosecutor. Yes, he should be sacked immediately.
Your last verse.
All right. So thank you very much for this opportunity. It's always a pleasure being here, and it's been quite interesting. Since the beginning, and I really enjoyed myself here.
Oh, right. I'm glad you did.
Yeah. So I want to extend my greetings to members of Yagbakubori constituency and the good people of Yagbakubori constituency. And NPP in Yagbakubori, we are united, and we are keeping the force. We are ensuring that Honorable Mustafa Yusuf maintains the seat, and hopefully 2028 when Baume wins the elections, Honorable Mustafa Yusuf would be retained as our member of parliament. And considering the preponderance of works he has done, it is only logical that the people of Yagbakubori maintain him as our member of parliament. Yes. So I think this is my last words here.
Yeah, Mr. B. Any last words?
So my last word is still on the office of the OSP
to be scrapped.
No need for reform. It should be sacked, and then the office should be dissolved, because we cannot be pumping money into an office where we see no result. No, it doesn't work that way. So long as there is money being projected into that particular office, it means there is a responsibility you are supposed to take on. And since you are not delivering per what you are supposed to do, there is no use keeping that office.
Right.
So as simple as ABC.
simple as ABC, the OSP should be scrapped, not reformed. Right. It was nice having you all here. It was an interesting conversation we had right here, and I believe our listeners also had a very interesting listening. Right. Thank you so much for joining us on the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. We'll meet same time tomorrow. Do have a lovely day.